I love like the BBC.
Nice.
Pause.
I
paused too long.
I paused thinking someone's gonna say pause, and
did he?
Whatever.
All right, welcome to the bracket episode 145. Today we are debating the most underappreciated TV shows. Very difficult topic to seed. Right now in Chicago, they're doing Surviving Barstool, and the studio situation is beyond fucked up. So no Chicago guys today. We have a ragtag crew. We got Doogs, Feits, Vibbs, Pat, and Hubs. Bunch of TV watchers. Lots of options to talk about. This is a very, again, it was difficult to kind of figure out the criterion here of how do you consider something underappreciated. So I'll just give you my methodology here, I guess. So like awards, viewership numbers, network, number of seasons, having a few bad seasons, none of those things are singularly disqualifying for any option on this list. The only singularly disqualifying factor here might be like if I think nobody on this panel other than maybe one person has seen it. Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean? It's like I'm not going to sit here and everyone go down the line and everyone's like, oh, I haven't seen that. Don't want to do that. I determined it on a kind of simple method where I'm like, is the show good? And was it properly appreciated by everybody, which includes audience, which includes critics? So for how good it really was. So that's kind of like it's a combination of everything. So, but the base question I want you to ask with every one of these options is this: was this show appreciated by everyone for how good it was? You know what I'm saying? It could be a good show and still be underappreciated. It could be a middling show. Oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Yep. It's all relative. So just keep that in mind while we're starting. And there's a lot of good TV shows in here. I think we had like legitimately, my initial starting list was something like 75 options. And narrowing it down to 16 was very hard. And we have, in this episode, 4 play-ins. Each one with a combination of different ones of our specific options. So it should be very fun trying to narrow that one down. But our first match of the day is the number 5 seed versus the 12 seed. The 5 seed, one of the most submitted options by a lot, which is Eastbound and Down. In Eastbound and Down, obviously anything Danny McBride, people love Danny McBride, but it was on HBO. That's a network kind of thing where it's not everyone has it, not everyone can watch it, but people love it. The outtakes people love, the Feel It in My Plums, Will Ferrell thing, always funny. And that's going up against number 12 seed. Another one submitted a ton of 24. 24 got a lot of votes. And I'll tell you right now, I've watched like one episode of 24. But people love 24 like you would not believe in Kiefer Sutherland. So we'll start out with you. Let's say Dukes. Eastbound and Down versus 24. Which show do you think is more underappreciated?
That's going to trip me up. So what I think is better... or what do I think is the more underappreciated
Underappreciated show for how good it was?
I think 24 then. I don't think 24 will get enough credit for how good it was.
Were you a big 24 guy?
I watched it when in like 6th grade. It was my first binge-worthy TV show. Eastbound and Down, I like better. I think more people like it. I don't think enough people appreciate 24 for how good it was.
So the base concept of it was just like you have 24 hours to solve something,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
That was and the clock would tick.
Oh, yeah. In real time.
Yeah. In real time. Yeah.
Yes.
That was the basic. Yeah. What network was it?
Fox.
Fox. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So one vote for 24 right now. Fights.
I guess the fact that I haven't seen 24 would be an argument for 24.
Exactly.
I love Eastbound and Down. I think both of these are pretty appreciated. I think like if you, particularly older people, I think that's kind of going to be a little disconnect with the audience is that 24 came out like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, so you kind of stop being in the zeitgeist after 20 years. So, yeah, people don't talk about that much anymore. But I think if you ask people, like, what was the first great show you watched? I think a lot of people say 24. I've never seen it, so I'm going to go 24.
I thought Kiefer Sutherland was like the best actor of all time. I thought he was like legitimately my Leo.
That's what I thought after Phone Booth. That's a movie not a people
that
like.
was a great movie.
Great.
Phone Booth, I caught his voice. I watched as a kid, and my parents were like, that's not Kiefer Sutherland. I'm like, I watched 24. I know that's Jack. Jack is trying to shoot him.
It was such an old show that like my friend passed me the like here's season 1 DVD.
Oh yeah,
Like that got passed around the friend group, and I was like, what the hell?
Phone Booth was just him for 2 hours going, fuck!
Yeah, just him Colin Farrell cursing.
Searching through shit.
I watched that very recently. It's still great.
24. I think the first DVD box set movie or series for me, which was Lost. Like everyone passed around like season 1, and they're all like the different colors, all the different Lost seasons, and they just tailed off so hard after like season 2. But man, good show though.
I never did the DVD box pass around. I was just a big mega upload guy.
Oh, mega upload, yeah. Wibbsy.
Yeah, 24 was the first like box set DVD that I just like went through and watched it. But I think that since 24 was on Fox, I feel like it got out to more people and it was more appreciated. I'll go Eastbound and Down.
Eastbound and Down, 1 vote, 2-1. In this, because we're 1 down, I'll vote on this. I would say also, I think Eastbound and Down, and again, partially it's a network thing, but Eastbound and Down is so funny, and it's consolidated seasons. Every actor in that is hysterical. It's all these dudes like right at the top. They're like Craig Robinson,
Stevie Janowski or whatever.
Yeah.
One of the
Dude.
funniest, like character actors ever.
He's
so good.
That was.
I think
my
that-
TikTok algorithm is there like outtakes with Stevie. I cried laughing at it.
Yep.
I think I very recently rewatched that, like within the last month.
Yeah.
So I think that probably affected my because I appreciate it so highly right now.
Yeah.
I watched it like a month ago, and it's better than I remembered.
Yep. I was watching an outtake, and I always think, obviously, the one, Will Ferrell, the plums thing is always so funny, but the one where Michael Pena is doing like the fart noise, like over and over again, they can't stop laughing. It's so good.
Yeah, I think it might be also a generation thing for me. Now that I'm thinking about it, like I think everybody my generation likes Eastbound and Down. Not everybody my generation has seen 24. Appreciates it. So
Yeah, even I'm surprised your generation, like my generation, my grandparents loved 24, but I was
yeah,
young that I really wasn't watching TV yet.
I think it was at 9/11.
Right? It was like what?
Yeah.
Early 2000s.
I got the 9/11 bump.
Yeah, it was like that 9/11 like fuck yes.
Yeah.
So right now we're 2-2, Pat.
I'm going Eastbound and Down because of the barrier to entry. Like I think it's the people who have seen it love it for obvious reasons, but I think much more people have seen 24. So in terms of just sheer numbers, Eastbound and Down.
Eastbound and Down, 3-2 right now.
Not enough people have seen 24. It's way more underappreciated. That is my show. The fact that we're starting it with this is just, it made me nervous. My heart started pumping the moment you said 24.
Yeah.
Like that show holds such a special place in my heart. We had rules growing up. Like if you were out of the house before 9 p.m., but you were going to come back in, you had to stay outside the house until 10 o'clock was
way.
up. Like my dad, his phone, his ringtone was the clock. Like it just was, it was incredible. And then my mom's was Kill Bill. My dad's was way better than that. But the silent clock, whenever the silent clock happened in 24, it meant like a very important character who was like beloved died. Like that was like holy shit. Like it's 10 o'clock. I have to go to bed and like. You know, this person, I don't know if you can even spoil 24 because it's so old.
It's so old, yeah.
Edgar Styles' death is like all time. Like you just like didn't know what to do with yourself at 10 o'clock there. And even like I knew Fox the moment the NFC Championship game ended every year in January. 24 would do a 2 back-to-back to start the season, like right after that. So it was like you were so amped after football, and then you get 24 for 2.
What was it on? CBS?
Fox, yeah.
Fox, see,
And
like,
then-
but there's so many people have seen it. Like,
Clearly-
compared to Fox, the lead-in is NFL Sunday.
No. It would start. The season would start once football was over, like the playoffs.
Gotcha.
Football, because they didn't want to
Okay.
compete with it. The fact that John hasn't seen it makes underappreciated.
I haven't seen
You're getting
it.
the slot after the
That's
Super
your
Bowl.
alley.
It's made for like a Gerard Butler loving guy. Like it's kind of crafted in a similar way. Action. He doesn't take a sip of water. He doesn't go to the bathroom. He doesn't eat. It's just nonstop. It makes no sense. And every year it's a little repetitive where it's like, oh, Jack's a hero. He starts to, he's a rebel. And then all of a sudden the president doesn't believe him. There's one guy who does believe him. He ends up saving everyone. Then they're like, nope, there's another terrorist. Jack's definitely the terrorist here. And then he saves them again. They never believe him. And the next season they have to do it all over again.
Just has me sold. I'm starting.
Fuck, he's about to say that.
I'm starting 24 tonight.
Wait, is he divorced?
So good. Listen, the last few seasons taper off a little bit, and then they tried to run it back, and that was a disaster in itself. And I think they're actually trying to run it back again. I think it's just gonna be Jack like at the helm and director. I don't know if he's gonna be in it, but man, there's like seasons 1 through 6, 1 through 7 are unfucking believable.
It's also an argument for 24 that we've made it thus far. I mean, we're probably 5-10 minutes into this conversation now. We haven't brought up Alicia Cuthbert.
Ooh,
Like
yeah,
this was back when there were it girls. Like I've said before, like I think the internet kind of killed the it girl. Like there's so many of them.
Yeah.
But like Alicia Cuthbert owned that moment. Oh my God. Like it was
Old school
Like you
right
asked
then,
anybody,
yeah.
like who's the hottest girl alive? Alicia Cuthbert.
Yeah.
I didn't even see the show. I was like Alicia Cuthbert.
Kim Bauer. She's incredible. But yeah, I mean, it's also very bingeable. And like if like going into college, like I had already seen it, but freshman year, like I'm trying to make new friends. All this, I'm on my own. But at night, I just throw on 6 episodes of 24, and you don't even know 6 hours have passed, and it's 4 a.m. You have class in a few hours. But man, that show to me, I will go to war for that show any day.
So we are 3-3 right now. Steve, you're gonna have to break the tie. Our producer today.
I'll be honest, I haven't ever heard of Eastbound and Down.
Heard of Eastbound and Down?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Holy shit!
Steve.
That makes it hard, actually.
What 24 was one of the first shows I started watching with my wife because she loved it, if that means anything. But I've never heard of the other one.
Never heard of
heard of it?
Eastbound and Down. I've never.
Just because he hasn't heard of it, I actually would like to change my vote to Eastbound and Down.
Fuck, I think that means
You're in
he's
for a
right.
treat, Steve.
That clearly just proves that like Eastbound and Down is underappreciated.
Yeah,
I don't even know the name of it.
It is one of the funnier things, and it was like David Gordon Green and all that, and they did all those other things too. They obviously did like Vice Principals together and some other shows, but or movies too. They think they did Halloween together, the reboot one. But yeah, I mean Eastbound and Down is a classic, but again the barrier of the network plus like Steve not even hearing about it is. That, I think it has to be sold too.
It's like we should have almost asked him like who is the star of Eastbound and Down just to like see what he would say.
Yeah, but I didn't already say, Danny McBride. Yeah. But either way, Eastbound and Down's going to move on. Now we have our 4 seed versus the 13 seed playing game, our first playing game of the day, which is, I believe, all Hubs options, actually. Okay. So these are all your ones, starting with Prison Break, which beyond you, a lot of people talked about Prison Break.
I was just throwing out lists. Like it's so tough to know if something is underappreciated because
I think Prison Break's a great pick.
Yeah, okay. All right, fine.
I've watched like the first 2 seasons.
That was the lead in the 24.
Yeah.
8 o'clock Prison Break into 24 at 9.
Heroes, people loved Heroes. That got killed by the writer strike at the time, which really sucked. Franklin and Bash is one. It made me laugh.
I didn't recommend it. Oh, that was you. Okay.
Wait, is that
yeah. No, I love it. Yeah.
Yes.
We used to play.
That's a great one, Hubs.
We used to play
Breckenmeyer.
Pong in college, and if you made a shot, you'll get called Franklin and Bash, and if you missed it, you'll get called Rizzoli and Isles. That was like the female version. Rizzoli and Isles. Classic sexism.
Another Hubs one, Las Vegas, which I loved Las Vegas. That's a TNT classic. That's James Caan, fucking Josh Duhamel, and then like a bunch of other people that nobody will ever remember again. But really good show about like casino securities. And then some Doogs ones, Watchmen on HBO, another barrier to entry one. Damon Lindelof, fantastic show. Winning Time, which got, I think, unjustly canned after 2 seasons. Shameless, which I think I kind of teeter in between on that, where I think a lot of people have seen it and also kind of teeters off. And it was Showtime.
Netflix too.
Yeah, now it's on Netflix. More people are starting to watch it. Trailer Park Boys, which a lot of people that got a lot of ride. Yeah, and then lastly, The Bookie, which I haven't watched. That's Maniscalco's show, right? Yeah.
That's just a fun watch.
Yeah.
I like stressful shows.
I do too.
What
Like my attention.
I like to be like, have an anxiety attack every hour.
I'm the exact same way.
Yeah.
I'm the exact same way. It needs to be like
loves like
on the edge of my
gems
street.
and fucking
Yes.
like
Yes.
I thought of. I was like, yeah, you definitely just love Uncut.
I think it's like one of the best movies of all time.
Who's
Crazy.
I'm comfortable being uncomfortable.
all time?
Yeah, I was like, I've watched it once. It was good. I'm never gonna watch it.
Every other watch after.
let him
gets
go.
worse and worse.
Yeah.
You should let him go.
So The Bookie is just Maniscalco's The Bookie.
Yeah, and he has like a security guard. It's in Los Angeles. It's like it's legalized books all throughout America, but like California's not. So he's still a bookie, like doing things like it's like 1980.
Yeah, the only thing I know about the show is that I forget who was saying it. They did like a reunion of the 2.5 Men within The Bookie.
Yeah.
Like all the main dudes were back in it, and like you saw pictures.
Yes, Charlie Sheen's in it. When they go to rehab to like get money from Charlie Sheen because he's like down money. It's pretty funny. Yeah.
Okay, so among these options, which do we think is the most underappreciated? Prison Break, Heroes, Franklin and Bash, Las Vegas, Watchmen, Winning Time, Shameless, Trailer Park Boys, or The Bookie? We'll start with you, Doogs. Which one of these do you want to move on to face our 4 seed?
Dude, if you don't say Trailer Park Boys,
I think it's Trailer Park Boys. That's the one that spoke to me the most. That one, I think that's one of the best comedies of all time. Truly just one of those shows that you could throw on at any time and get a good laugh.
Yeah. Deep cult following, too.
Yes. Canadian background. Like he's like one of my favorite characters of all time. I'm going to go Trailer Park Boys.
Trailer Park Boys, Fights.
First and foremost, would anyone like a Madeline?
I love Madeleines. I'm so full.
what are they?
They're good. You can have one.
Like a poofy
I've never had one before.
Oh, no pun, joke intended.
The
I'll try one.
the answer here
just-
is Franklin and Bash.
Yep.
This is just
my God.
bread.
Cornbread. This is
It's like lemon. It's like a lemon treat. Yeah, it's delicious. Franklin and Bash.
Yeah, it's Franklin and Bash. I don't know if it's Canadian racism, but like I can't do Trailer Park Boys or
Letterkenny, yeah.
No, I've watched them both. Like, to be fair, I haven't given it like a real effort, but I've watched like 1 or 2 episodes each and just didn't grab me. Franklin and Bash is like the perfect watch. Like, it's a little fun. There's a little mystery, a little something we're figuring out, a little comedy, and you just chill for 45 minutes. Franklin and Bash is like Trailer Park Boys. I don't think of as underrated because people talk about it all the time. Like, it is a very regular show. Like, people be like, "What's your favorite show?" Trailer Park Boys.
Was there a barrier to entry with it?
I don't think so. I think it was on Comedy Central after a bit, right?
Like,
I have
what
no
was-
idea. I just
what
watched it
was
on
Franklin
Netflix.
and Bash on like.
TNT?
Yeah,
That's the thing, like underrated barrier of entry. Like it's a culty thing to get onto Trailer Park Boys. Everyone can watch.
I saw Franklin and Bash on TV, and I'd purposely not watch it. It was one of those shows I was like, this cannot be good.
Can't watch Breckin Meyer.
Great. Breckin Meyer, Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Yeah.
Camille Nanjiani.
Gianni, that's right.
There's a couple other people in it too, I feel like, but I'm forgetting. But anyway, it's great.
So one for Franklin and Bash with Vibbsy.
I'm there with Feits on Trailer Park Boys. In college, everybody talked about it. Everyone was like, "Oh, you got to watch this. It's the greatest show ever." And then whenever I tried to watch it, I think because everyone was saying how great it was, I just like couldn't get into it. But I can see how that would be a pick. I'm gonna say Prison Break just because it was the one that I said. But again, it's on Fox. It's like 24 where everyone saw it. But the first season of Prison Break is one of the greatest seasons of TV ever. Like it's so good. And then it
It was
kind
good
of
until fucking what's his dick got in it.
So what's his name came out of the closet, ruined the whole fucking.
Yeah, that too. That too.
What's his name? He has a Westward.
No, the guy we fucking always go to war with. We like sued and stuff.
Rappaport.
Oh, yeah.
Long before like we ever had fights with him or anything like that, he got on that show and I was like, this show sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an old school Michael Rappaport hater.
Well, he might sue you.
When he came into the office, must have been so confusing.
Oh, I wouldn't. He did. We had an interview with him on KC Radio. I was like, Kevin, can you just do it alone? He did. I didn't do it. I fucking hate that guy. Like not even like a fun hate. I find him not entertaining at all.
Respect.
That's very real.
So which one are you going for, Wibsy?
I'm gonna go with Prison Break.
You think Prison Break being the lead-in to 24 hurt or helped it? Are people locked in for 24 at 9? They're not even considering what's on at 8 o'clock? Or like, are they like, oh, like we're here a little early for 24. This isn't bad. Let me start watching this now.
I don't know exactly how that works in the TV world.
No idea.
How that hurts or helps certain shows. Because if you're like, what do you call it, Impractical Jokers during the tournament, like that has to help, right? Like,
Right.
But I don't know if that works in this case with TV versus live entertainment. So
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. I think between these options that we have right now, I watched minimal Franklin and Bash. Prison Break season 1 is so good. I'd go with that. I'd go with Prison Break season 1, and I don't think a lot of people really talked about it in that sense, but it was very much more culty and much less culty than Trailer Park Boys, I would say. Like way less appreciators.
Prison Break
I
was a
changed my
popular-
answer.
Well, you can change your answer.
It's Shameless for me.
Shameless.
Yeah, it's not Trailer Park Boys. I got peer pressured by Pat. He looked at me in the eye. He said, "You better vote for that." I was like, "Yes, sir."
I was surprised it worked.
Yeah, it was one of
Surprised it
the.
worked. I was like, oh.
I'm very easily peer pressured. It's Shameless. It's like one of my favorite shows of all time.
William
In
H.
fact,
Macy in that show is unbelievable.
I-
Fucking Jeremy Allen White.
Blockbuster shows that you guys are talking about. Meaning they're wild, they're widely appreciated.
Well, no, this is on Showtime.
No,
It's like not.
Yeah, this is. It's not even like HBO. Like nobody has Showtime.
Yeah.
People watch it now because of
FX
Netflix.
or something.
It moved to Netflix. It moved to like
Showtime.
after it finished. It went
Who's the guy? Who's the guy in this? The Cook Show.
to Jeremy Allen White.
That's he's Lip in Shameless. It's one of the best acting
Great.
jobs of all time.
Cameron
That's his
Monaghan
first
even like he went on. He's doing like the Star Wars shit now. He's all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I feel like there's a lot more actors in that too that were good. But yeah, that's just Showtime for you, I guess. So 1 for Shameless, 1 for Franklin Bash, 2 for Prison Break.
I'm going Trailer Park Boys.
Trailer Park Boys. You're into the Canadians.
I'm into the Canadians. I think that just like barrier of entry and like culty, like not many people know about it. Also, we have to remember like when this came out, we were in college 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So like that is like a long
Yeah.
time for this show to be gone. And that's a whole generation of people who don't even know what it is, who don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
So it makes me double down on Trailer Park Boys.
So
We all appreciate it in my generation.
2 for Prison Break, 1 for Franklin and Bash, 1 for Shameless, 1 for Trailer Park Boys. Hubs.
Definitely not going Trailer Park Boys because you are part of the reason why 24 didn't advance. So I can't have that happen. And not picking Las Vegas, but I want to give you were listening to people of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
3 women, because Eric is watching this middle school, high school, right when I come home from school when I'm sick. Las Vegas was an instant. Molly Sims, Vanessa Marcel, Nikki Cox. 3 absolute bombshell women who, like, younger Eric was like, yep, women are great. Like, I love these people. Josh Duhamel's great. James Caan. I can't pick it, though. The other one was Franklin Bash. I don't want to pick that. Prison Break is the answer.
Prison Break is the answer.
And I suggested 4 of these, so I like a lot of them. But Prison Break, I mean, it is Michael Scofield. It's so good. And you know, I asked that question, like, did it hurt the 24? No, for me, it didn't hurt. Prison Break into 24, doubleheader on Mondays on Fox. That is like partially when I'm sure we're gonna get into Heroes, Lost, The Office, when they were just running all week.
All bangers too.
Like,
Yeah.
you didn't. There was nothing else you needed to do. You didn't have to make plans. Like that was just. And then we get to the weekend, and you're at the weekend. And honestly, the weekend was sad back then because those shows weren't on.
Yeah, they weren't on anymore.
I fucking love talking TV.
My answer is Prison Break, partially because the doubleheader on Monday was so sick.
Dude, Prison Break, when he first showed off like the tattoo, and they're like,
Oh yeah, the tattoo was the map of the fucking
my God.
prison. It's coming back to me now.
That's an issue I have. Has anyone watched it recently?
Prison Break? Oh. Yeah, not that recently. No.
Like, so when it popped on Netflix, I gave it a watch. The tattoo like doesn't help at all. It's very frustrating. Well, I'm like, how the fuck does that mean anything?
How does he read it? It is that part I don't.
My memory, it's like the exact blueprint of the fucking thing, and it's like actually this star means some like prison guard is going to be off on break now. That doesn't fucking mean that. There's no way he could have known that.
Either way, Prison Break's going to move on. And it's going to face our number 4 seed. Definitely one of the most, I think without a doubt, one of the most underappreciated shows because it is fantastic, and that is The Americans. The Americans is one of the greatest espionage series ever created, and it did not get really the eyes it deserved. And I think that comes down, maybe it's like an FX thing or not. FX makes so many great shows, like probably its second best network only to HBO, and maybe some stuff just kind of gets lost in the fray. But man, fucking The Americans is so good. So The Americans is going up against Prison Break. We'll start with you, Hubs.
I'm picking The Americans because I've never seen it.
I mean, that's it.
Well, as much as I love Prison Break, it was on network TV.
Yeah.
So I think for all those reasons, I think Dave talks endlessly about The Americans. I'm pretty sure he loves it too. Like, it's a show that I get into, and it seems espionage, all that, I'm in. But yeah, I haven't seen it, so how could I not? That's the definition of this whole thing. And I know it's obviously great. Does it win awards?
But yeah, it's won some.
Yeah, so I mean, you got to go to Americans based off just the logic and point of us doing this.
Fucking Kerry Russell, great actress, paired with Matthew Rhys, who becomes her husband in real life, playing husband and wife sleeper cell Soviet agents in 80s America, trying to undermine American operations, dressing up in fucking costumes, like doing honeypot schemes, like doing all this crazy shit. It's amazing. Except for that fucking daughter, which is like this. Did you guys watch? Was it not Homefront?
Homeland.
Yeah. The daughter in Homeland just being.
I think her name was.
Whoa! It's like the same thing with the daughter in The Americans. Other than that, incredible.
They do that with a lot of prestige shows. They just make the daughter a real piece of shit.
Just the worst. Like fucking Mad Men.
Mad Men I've never seen. Homeland. What was the other one? Californication.
Oh,
she actually comes around later, but at first she's like, "Will you stop being just a dick all the time?"
actually, fucking Debbie and
Just a
Shameless.
hooah.
Yeah.
Debbie and Shameless are the worst.
I was thinking like Family Guy, like Meg. Like it's crazy. It's crazy to even think about like a cartoon.
They're really mean to daughters, man. Let's start with you, or go to you now, Pat.
I guess based on Hub's reasoning, I'll have to go. Not Prison Break, whatever the other
The
one was.
Americans?
I don't even know the name of it. The Americans. I've never even heard of it.
It is truly like one of the best.
And it's on FX.
It was on FX now on Hulu. I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Prison Break got its flowers.
Yeah.
So with the other one.
I would go with The Americans as well. Again, it is an unbelievable show.
Yeah, everyone. I haven't seen The Americans, but everyone's always like, "Oh, it's so good." There was another show that was on like at the same time that had like a fixer. I think wore a cowboy
Ray
hat.
Donovan.
Ray Donovan, The Americans.
Rage about.
I think you're confusing two shows. One of which
Cowboy Hat, I don't remember, but the fixer is Ray Donovan.
and FX makes me think Justified.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
All those shows blend together. I think they all came out at like the same time, but everyone says they're all amazing. So I'll go Americans.
The Americans. Ray Donovan, I've always heard is great, though, by the way. And I've not seen
Ray Donovan, I watched like 2 seasons. Very good, but I think
That's largest
My
favorite.
uncle like pulled me aside to tell me it was the best television. My uncle pulled me aside, not to a separate room, and to tell me like, it's the best. He's like, this is the best television show.
All right, now bend over. Fights.
I'm gonna go with the status quo here for the same reasons. Everybody, I have not seen The Americans.
Oh my God! I was trying to make sure that I was like, someone here will watch it. There's no doubt in my mind.
It's one that's like on my list. Like my list is very.
Is this going to disqualify it because you said the criteria was weird?
I was like, somebody here must have watched it. Like
Kevin was a huge fan, so he was always telling me you got to watch it, and for some reason I didn't.
How many seasons was it?
I didn't know
I want to say like 6 or 7.
not
it.
so-
Donovan?
No, it's over. It's over.
Oh yeah, it's definitely over. Bro.
Also, great series finale. Very rare too.
Spoil it.
What?
Spoil it right
Oh, don't spoil it.
Definitely not spoiling it. It's too good of a show.
I think I have to watch it because I haven't seen it either. But I'm going with Prison Break because I didn't even consider that Prison Break was underappreciated until you guys brought it up. So I'm voting for Prison
I
Break.
think everyone knows the show, but I don't think everyone understands season 1 was so fucking.
So-
it's some of the best television. It's so good.
When I said about 24, like that was my first DVD, I remember like my friends coming into freshman year of high school being like, you have to get Netflix. And I was like, why the fuck would I pay for Netflix? Getting my mom's credit card, paying for Netflix just to watch season 1 of Prison Break.
Yeah.
Netflix, that'll never take off.
Yeah. Just go to Blockbuster.
So the Americans is going to move on, and now we have the 8 seed versus the 9 seed. The 9 seed is Justified, which you mentioned before. Justified, another FX show that I think a lot of people over time since it came to Hulu have started to watch and are starting to get more into it. But when it was on, I think people kind of saw it as less than what it really was, which is an incredible serial Western show. Amazing. What's his name? Timothy Olyphant's incredible. Walton Goggins, amazing. All the other
That was at least my introduction to him.
Yes.
Was, and they also have, I think it's season 2 or 3, they have the evil white guy.
Yeah. They bring in like a guest actors that are so good.
But the like if you, I forget this guy's name, but if you Google like evil white guy, like it's him who comes up because he always just plays like the villain.
Yeah.
Got piercing blue eyes, like blonde hair. It's so blonde, it's like white.
Yeah, the name.
If you saw him, you'd be like, oh, that's the bad guy in all the shows.
Picturing the guy from Passion of the Christ.
Jim Caviezel?
Yes.
It's not white hair, but yeah, I think you're on the right track.
I googled evil white guy and Hitler popped up.
He won an Emmy for his guest appearance on Justified. Adolf Hitler. So Justified is going against number 8 seed. This is one I think, from what I remember right, Vibbs has watched this, so that qualifies it at least. Black Sails.
Oh yeah,
Black Sails.
I got a big problem with Black Sails. So
Okay, we'll get to it then.
Okay.
So Black Sails is another Showtime show, much like Shameless. Black Sails is incredible. 4 seasons of amazing, highly produced television. Great ending. Great everything about it. Like literally acting top to bottom. Every season is like gripping in its own way. And then again, that fourth and final season with a great ending. So Black Sails versus Justified. Start with you, Doogs. Justified, no doubt.
That was my first introduction as well to Walter Goggins, and I love him in Tarantino movies. Yeah. Whatever. Walter.
Honestly, probably the coolest guy I've ever interviewed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot you interviewed him.
He was the perfect kind of cool. Where like, because like a lot of times when you interview someone, like the nicest thing you can say is like, he's just a regular guy.
Yeah.
And he's not. like you can just tell he's not a regular guy. He's acting like a regular guy, but he's fucking not. But yeah, it's Justified for sure. It's such a great Western. Like, which actually kind of, I'm just gonna add this in for no reason. I've been rewatching Breaking Bad. I never realized how much of a Western that is.
Yeah,
That's
very
like,
much
just like a full blown Western. But he like Raylan Givens has such great lines that like a cowboy would say.
Yeah.
He 2 always stick out to me. One, when he's like, if you met an asshole in the morning, you met an asshole that day. If you meet an asshole all day, you're the asshole.
Yeah.
And he goes to the villain, that evil white guy, which I also just Googled too. I wasn't kidding. It used to be like he popped up.
Yeah,
He doesn't anymore. But when he throws the bullet at the bad guy, and he just kind of lands on his chest, and he goes, "Next one's coming faster."
That's so fucking cool. That's cool.
That's such a cool line, dude.
Dude, what's her name? Is that Margot Martindale who plays like the hillbilly matron of like the weed farms and shit? She was really good too. Like those like hillbilly brothers that like corrupt cop and shit. Yeah. Like so many good storylines in that show.
It's a great show.
2 for Justified. Whibsy.
Haven't seen Justified. I need to watch it. Is Walter Goggins basically in? Did you watch Fallout?
Yes.
Is he kind of playing the same character, like a cowboy? Like
he's more of an outlaw, I would say, in that than he is in Justified.
Yeah, Justified. He's kind of like all over the place. Like he starts as like a white supremacist, and then he becomes kind of just like a. I don't know. He's always living in the meth world.
Yeah, he's in the gray.
Yeah.
Describing just my life.
Yeah, he's more in the gray.
but it's all justified.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love a good cowboy movie. I just watched 3:10 to Yuma.
Great movie.
So good. I love when Russell Crowe he has the line. He's like, "Even bad men love their mamas" or whatever. That's cowboy. What was the other? Black Sails. Okay, so Black Sails is awesome. It's such a good show, so well done. But they're dirty fucking pirates, and they're all so hot. They all
are
have
very hot.
Perfect teeth. It's like you're watching like a pirate porn, but like the acting's phenomenal. Like they have perfect teeth. They're like perfect people. Their muscles are huge.
Their cocks are out.
Cocks are out, and just like veiny, triumphant bastards. And it's just like sometimes you're like, these people are too hot. I don't believe this. But sometimes a story you like fall back into, and you're like, okay, I get it.
The weird thing about it too is that in that series, all the actors in that, you'll rarely see them in anything else ever. Like all these other shows we've talked about, they have like one big banger actor or actress. Black Sails really doesn't. They're all just perfect for that and nothing else.
Yeah.
Dude, the Blackbeard season, Do you remember that?
I'm only on like season 2. Like, just
Wait for Blackbeard. Oh my god.
Yeah, I haven't finished it, but I think Black Sails is the definition of like this bracket. Like,
Yeah.
'cause hardly anyone's ever heard of Black Sails. It's so good. It was on like Stars, so like no one.
Yeah,
watched it.
exactly.
Yeah, I won't watch it now because it was on Stars.
Well, it's on Netflix now.
Okay.
It is. So you go with Black Sails. I would go with Black Sails too. And I think it's because like when I watched that show, I was like kind of in the mindset like nothing can really replace the level of intrigue like Game of Thrones really hits you with when you watch it. I think Black Sails is the only thing that's ever really been like heights of Game of Thrones level great intrigue. It is so fucking good.
That actually turns me off now.
What do you mean?
Just like it was such an investment getting into Thrones. Like I can't do. I not that I
Hype
can't
was
do
too much.
but I resist getting into something where like a whole world has to be built for me. I've never been a big fantasy guy, so like it's not super surprising. But like I'll only get into a world building show if it's like a cultural
I
phenomenon.
feel like in Black Sails, the world is so much smaller. Like there's not as
only
much. of
4
an
seasons.
investment.
Seven
Yeah.
seasons.
Yeah, it's only 4 seasons. It's very consolidated, and like a lot of shit happens each episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why it's not a lot of fluff, and the world is it's a little bit less world building because it's based on real shit. You know what I mean? It's like you're in Nassau in the Bahamas during the height of the pirate age and shit.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
not
yeah.
like in a made up dragon world of shit. So right now we're 2-2.
Can I just say, I put in shows like 1,000-Pound Sisters.
Oh, we're gonna get to your options. Don't worry about that. We're gonna get to your options.
What the fuck any of these shows are. Black Sails? Like, what is that? What's the other one it's going against?
It's going up against Justified.
I don't. It's a fucking coin toss for me. Justified or Black Sails? I guess Black Sails because pirates sounds cool.
Pirates were cool.
Cowboys are cool too, dude.
That's also true. It's two of the coolest things like growing up when you're a
Yeah,
kid.
well, no, wait, let me switch it then because cowboys seem more realistic. Pirates for me are too like fantasy, like Disney.
Yeah.
And we better have 1,000-Pound Sisters on that list. We're going to war for those
It's
bitches.
so fucking fun. Like we think we've like grown up as dudes, but like the still the things we want the most is like pirates and fucking cowboys.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, that's all I want. Hubs.
I've never seen either show. I've seen so many trailers and commercials to justify when I'm watching a movie on FX or if I'm watching. Was Nip Tuck on FX?
Tuck was on FX, yeah.
Nip Tuck. I should have fucking suggested that, honestly. But yeah, I see so many justified. I never saw it, but like Timothy Olyphant in the as a cowboy, it's just that guy's a cowboy. Like that man was bowling, and then you're gonna say that quote. The moment you said a quote, that was my vote.
It was over. It was over.
Sold, no problem there. I want to watch Justified now. It feels underappreciated because a guy like me who's kind of made for that, I didn't appreciate it. So I'm going with that.
Justified's gonna move on. Great. I think I love that reasoning too.
Yeah.
Fuck. It's Nip Tuck, by the way, also a good show.
That was great.
Does Goggins only play cowboy?
He played
Oh, he's played transgender.
transgender. What was that? Shield.
Sons,
The Shield.
Sons. Oh no, Shield. No, it was
Oh,
Sons.
Shield.
It
He was a
Sons.
detective.
Yes,
Yeah, and then
but it's both the same director.
Yeah.
and
Kurt Soder.
Kurt Soder.
Yeah.
And fun fact: the only reason he played a transgender on Sons of Anarchy was because Kurt Soder had given a quote about Walton Goggins' acting ability and how he was so great and he loved working with him on The Shield, but he could never put him because he remembers the character from The Shield so much. He could never put him in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
And Walton Goggins emailed him and was like, "Make me a transgender.
Yeah.
No one will recognize me."
Another great show, by the way. Sons. That one.
He has a great death in a Predator movie.
Goggins.
Goggins. He gets his spine ripped out.
Oh, he's a prisoner, right? In Predators.
They're all
Yeah.
bad guys. They're all put on. They're abducted, put on this planet. And they're all bad guys. Everyone's like, and he's an especially bad guy.
Yeah.
And I think he's a rapist. And
He is. That's true. I watched that recently.
He distracts the predator. He distracts predator from killing everybody else, and then he's like laughing, and then the predator just pulls out his fucking spine from his back and just whoops. But
Yeah.
great death.
Don't
Yep.
bears do that when they attack people sometimes?
I think that might be
I think
fantastic.
I saw that on like a fucked up Twitter. Someone getting like their spine ripped out.
Your Twitter is very
Really
fucked
football's
up.
Twitter.
Wild. Yeah.
A bear.
Anyway,
a
sorry.
bear,
We can cut that from the record.
If you like bears breaking the back out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we have the 1 seed versus the 16 seed. The 16 seed these are mostly my ones. So I split up most of our chains to each group, more or less. So these are mostly my ones. First being Oz, which is an HBO, one of the first big banger shows that like it kind of set the stage for a lot of other ones. One of the best prison dramas I think you'll ever watch. Patriot, which was on Prime Video. really good. Another good spy show. Not a lot of people got to. The other two, which I think I've recommended to you, like 1,000 and a couple other people. Very funny comedy show. The Last Kingdom, which I love. Viking series on Netflix. How To with John Wilson, which I think is a kind of like up and down, but like it's produced by Nathan Fielder. It's super fucking weird, bizarro, very funny. Warrior, which I recommend anyone that'll listen. It's like one of the greatest like martial arts fighting series you'll ever watch in your life. Superstore, Superstore is one of those NBC sitcoms that just nobody watched. Super fucking funny. Fargo, and then Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So to run through, these are ones that are going to from mine. Oz, Patriot, the other two, The Last Kingdom, How To with John Wilson, Warrior, Superstore, Fargo, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So which one of these? I'm assuming you guys have seen at least one of these. You think should go up against I'll disclose later as our one seed.
One.
Yeah, one of these to go up against our one seed. So start with you, Hubs.
Honestly, haven't seen any of those. I'm going to be honest.
None of those?
But I know Fargo, obviously, and I just feel like that is gets enough credit, but doesn't like it's not mainstream enough. I guess is But honestly, based off what we're doing here, a lot of the others I've never even remotely heard of. So wait, run through it one more time.
Oz, Patriot, the other two, The Last Kingdom, How To with John Wilson, Warrior, Superstore, Fargo, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I mean, I definitely heard of Brooklyn Nine-Nine because that was a Fox. Was that Fox?
Believe it's
NBC.
NBC. Okay.
No, I think it was. No, it was Fox because they did a New Girl crossover.
It's network, so at least I can't pick that because it's network. I feel like that some people have known that, so I'll go Fargo.
one for Fargo.
I'm doing the same thing, Fargo.
Fargo, I mean, just based on the sort of momentum here, I'd go with Fargo as well. Incredible show. One bad season, the rest are pretty much bangers.
I'd say How To with John Wilson.
So funny.
You have to watch it. It is unlike anything out there. Like there's one scene where he just goes into some guy's house and the guy hooks up. He has like a device to stretch your foreskin, like back to it, and this guy's just laying in his bed, spread eagle, with his foreskin tied to the fucking head post of his bed, and he's just like, yeah, you just attach this every night for like 8 hours, and you like, this is just like a real man that he just like walked up to his apartment. It's crazy. It is a crazy show. You have to go watch.
I don't want to watch that.
No, you want to watch it. It's
the fuck was
it's just him with his camera, and he just like starts off doing one thing, and then just snowballs into a million different things.
It's a big time like diatribe or whatever you call it. Like you go off on these detours where he's like, yeah, I want to invest why scaffolding is up for so long. That episode was crazy too. And he ends up at like somebody drives him to Burning Man.
Yeah, he's just like walking around with his camera, and there's a lady filling up her RV with gas, and he's like, where are you going? She's like, Burning Man. He's like, can I come? And she's like, sure. Yeah. And then he just drives like cross country to Burning Man with this lady.
It's such a fucking crazy show.
I like the one with the scaffolding. The scaffolding when he's got the gay guy who like talked about being tied up and just left outside. Like, he's like trying to find like other forms of like fences and stuff like that to use instead of scaffolding. And the guy's like, yeah, I got tied up in Arizona once, just like left out in the sun for like 3 days. Like someone would come occasionally fuck me and then they'd leave. It's crazy. Yeah.
Fights.
Sorry. So How To is great. Fargo is great. Patriot, I've heard great things about. The other two has been recommended many times, but I think I'll go Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'd say that just because I only watched it for the first time recently. Mm-hmm. It's great. It's a great sitcom.
It's very, very quick, funny, easy, all those things.
I wasn't a Sandberg guy for a long time.
Yeah,
I did not find Andy Sandberg particularly funny.
Oh, Doogs is in it.
Same way.
And the same exact take I have.
Dude,
Owen got me into it.
Watch Royal Pain. Palm Springs. Palm Springs. That's what got me back. Like got me into Sandberg. Being like, all right, never mind. I fuck with him. Yeah. But yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
He's got a World War II movie coming out soon. Sandberg.
Yeah, with fucking
Kate
Winslet. Yeah.
I remember a couple years ago seeing like the Sandberg, like how at every interview he was like in love with his wife and was like very like nice about his wife, and for some reason it really turned me off.
Oh my god, you're like a 1980s.
I was like, oh dude, dad. Stop, we get it. And then Owen was like randomly watching it in our apartment, and I was like, I can't get into it. I was like, I don't like this show. He's like, why? I was like, I don't know. Yeah. And then we sat down and watched it. It's fucking hilarious. So for that reason, I'm going Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I actually saw an interview. This was before I turned on Sandberg and turned on, meaning I started liking him. But this, in retrospect, I liked a lot. It was him and Bill Hader talking about both their SNL auditions, and they rode up, I guess, in an elevator together. And Hader had no props. Sandberg had a ton of props. Which at the time, watching that interview, I'm like, gee, I knew I didn't like this guy.
Yeah.
And they were both talking about how they were both so nervous and thinking, oh my God, that guy doesn't need any fucking props. God, I'm not going to get this. And Hader was thinking, he's using props. Oh my God, I'm just going up there by myself. I'm never going to get this.
Fucking A. I think what makes Brooklyn Nine-Nine very good too is Joe Lutriglio being there, because Joe Lutriglio is one of the great auteurs in comedy. Dukes. You know with Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Oh, yeah. I didn't even know we were up to 1 to 16. Yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine for me. For
so
sure.
2 for Brooklyn Nine-Nine, 3 for Fargo, which means Fargo is going to move on. So Fargo is going to go up against our number 1 seed, which is, and this is one a lot of entries. Does not have a great final season. I will fully admit that, but
It's Sopranos.
it's not Sprouts. It was a network show that got a lot, and I think managed to do a lot in a lot of different genres, and just doesn't get the respect of a lot of other shows that are sort of in that same setting, which is Scrubs. Scrubs did not get a lot of the respect that you see a show like, an ER or Grey's Anatomy or any of these shows got. And it managed to do drama like better than Grey's Anatomy or an ER. And it does comedy as good as any other show. And a lot of these other actors in it, like, what's his name? Like the Frasier guest star episode, incredible. The Frey How to Save a Life episode, I think was the same thing. Really, really good.
Colin Farrell episode,
really good. Fucking, and what's his name? John C. McGinty, I think is his name. The guy who plays Dr. Cox. So fucking good.
he had such a weird career.
Very weird.
Because like I'll always see him pop up now in like older movies. Like he's just like the head of the SWAT team.
Yeah.
Like,
and fucking Seven.
There's 2 because it's 7. Obviously, always think of, and there's another one where he's just like he's just in it for 30 seconds. I'm like that's Dr. fucking Perry Cox right there.
Yeah.
Give the man a bigger role.
He might have been in SWAT. I mean, I wouldn't like the.
No, I remember that.
Remember that? No. Well, Colin Farrell was in. That's SWAT. Yeah.
No, he's not.
There's so many cops in that. I'm like,
There are.
There's a lot of like randos in that. You know, who was a great cop actor who's also in SWAT. The guy that's in We Own the City. The one who's like kind of like the dickhead cop in SWAT is very good. I wish I knew that actor's name.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I don't know his name. But I do know who you're talking about. John C. McGinley. Yeah, I'm gonna see.
McGinley, not McGinty. Yeah, but he was in I think not Hamburger Hill, but Platoon. I think, and he was really good in that. And I think maybe another Vietnam movie as well.
Platoon, yes.
Yeah.
Office Space.
Office Space, yeah, he's the guy that interviews them, like he's the lost guy, yeah. So Scrubs versus Fargo. Let's start with you, Dukes.
In the middle of Fargo. Didn't finish it yet. Love the show. I'm going with that for my most underappreciated.
1 for Fargo.
The Rock is the other thing he's a SWAT guy in.
There you go. Yep. Great movie too.
This is Scrubs, no brainer. No brainer. In fact, I didn't even consider putting Scrubs on my list. Like it's such an afterthought, even to me who loved Scrubs. I loved Scrubs so much that when I was in college, and I do this, I actually almost brought it up during Justified. Like everyone does this, but when you watch something, you kind of take on the character that you want to be, I suppose. And there was a stretch in my freshman year of college where I was talking like friends back home still and all that stuff. And one of my friends, she was like, I don't know what you're doing, but you're an asshole now. And like, you need to fix that. And I was like, oh my God, she's right. I'm just being Perry Cox.
Dr. Cox, yeah.
I think at the time I was only watching House and Scrubs. And it was just like, I was just taking a lot of Percocets and just being mean to everybody.
Very mean. Babe, I got lupus. You'll never believe it. You don't have a lupus.
It's Scrubs for sure.
So 1-1 right now. Wibbsy?
I feel like Scrubs is not underrated just because you got what's his nuts and his friend still in AT&T commercials.
Yeah, that's fair. And
20 years later, and they're like, they'll fucking sell the shit out of some internet and some cell phones.
The Zach Braff redemption tour. We also got him. He's in Bad Monkey.
Yeah, Zach, but it also broke up with Florence Pugh.
He was dating Florence Pugh
for a long.
Jesse Curson's brother. You know that? Zach Braff, Jess Curson, comedian.
What the fuck?
Zach Braff's her brother?
Zach Braff is her brother.
Shut up.
Swear to God.
That's insane.
That's nuts.
Is that crazy?
She talks about
mentioned that on our show.
We've interviewed her like 10 times. She talks about her family all the time. She's never mentioned Zach Braff.
That's fucking insane.
That's her brother.
So you're gonna go with Fargo?
I'm gonna go with Fargo just because everyone says it's good. It's amazing. It's so underrated for the first 2 seasons. But Scrubs is so good. Your episode ends. You're laughing. You're crying. It could do everything. How to Save a Life episode is
oh my God.
What was that? Why is everyone talking about it?
Rabies.
Ends with the Fray, and it's like going through the hospital.
they're like dying to get organs transplants, and like finally like one lady croaks, and like they're like, oh, we can use her organs to save like 15 people, but she didn't tell everybody that she had rabies, so all the organs kill all the people that all the organs went to.
Classic.
And like how to save lives plan as he goes to try and save each person. Oh, it's a sad episode. And the Brandon Fraser episode's so sad, but then it's so fucking funny. So I'm gonna go. I'll go with Scrubs for that reason. I do think obviously you got more play than Fargo did, and Fargo's an incredible like high level prestige show. But Scrubs, I don't think it's talked about enough for what it was able to do across multiple genres.
Also,
I think it just slipped. I don't know how. Like even like things like The Office and things like Parks and Rec. Like those shows live on. I don't know why Scrubs hasn't.
It was on when so many other good things
Right, like,
were on.
yeah.
I think it
People
just
didn't have
kinda-
enough time to watch. It's like I gotta watch all this stuff.
Yeah.
I get left out.
Yeah, and it's a shame because it is. Also, the guy that played who was the head doctor?
He was unbelievable.
Fucking so good.
Got 2 thumbs and doesn't care.
Bob Kelso. That is Bob Kelso.
yeah.
There it is. Pat,
I'm going Scrubs.
you going Scrubs as well? 3-2 right now.
Oh, Scrubs, Dr. Cox. He's such a good character.
He's so fucking funny. So Scrubs is going to move on. Now on the other side, we have the number 6 seed versus the number 11 seed. The 6 seed is Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is one that did not get nearly enough, I think, love for how fucking funny it was. Every episode had like a banner great line. So many great side characters, like the Jin Yang guy, the Russ Hanneman character, even like the boss, like the venture capitalist characters. All of them so fucking funny.
Very well cast.
Super well cast. Like half of them like fell off the face of the earth after two, except for like what's his name, TJ.
Jim Miller.
Yeah, he had a little booze. He had a little
fuck
issue
happened
with
to
the
him?
old sauce.
One of my favorite actors.
The brain.
Yeah.
We did an interview with him back at the old office where Kevin, it was like, it was the morning, Kevin couldn't make it in or something like that. So I think me and Wonton Don did it. And I swear to God, we both said 3 words. He came in. I mean, he must have been yipped up because it was just like, like he didn't fucking stop for a half hour. It was insane.
Holy shit! And I remember he was in right after that. He was in those. What was the beer where the beer would make fun of you? Commercials. Shock Top.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
There was this commercial where like the
looks
beer
like
would
a shock top.
Yeah.
the beer would just be really mean to you, and that was the whole commercial. I just remember like that was back to back with Silicon Valley.
He's very funny. I see clips of his stand up sometimes. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know what was it. He just had like a bad.
He threatened to blow up an Amtrak train.
He had like a brain tumor.
That's what it was.
He was also like a little essay, maybe.
Yeah, I think he had a lot of stuff going.
Yeah, he's got. I think Office Christmas Party with T.J. Miller
Dude,
is one of the most
something.
underrated Christmas movies ever. I love him actually.
Everyone else-
Besides that whole thing, besides that whole thing that he just said.
He's actually the
He
best.
threatened to-
I want to do everything he's ever done.
He threatened to blow up an Amtrak train.
I'm pretty sure in a drunken dispute, I could be very wrong, but I think he was very drunk and he got angry at somebody and he basically called
Yes.
I remember.
FBI or whatever. He called in a bomb threat on that person.
I'm gonna blow up the train.
Yeah.
He had a,
You like him more.
He was like in a Marvel trilogy, Deadpool, and Ryan Reynolds just didn't want him in the third movie.
Yeah,
You have to be a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
For them to be like, you're in the first 2, but the third we don't want you.
Yeah.
the reasoning of like when it's explained by both sides, it's like very like weird and
Yeah.
ugly. Like you could just, I think he basically, T.J. Miller's excuse for why he wasn't put in the third one is Ryan Reynolds, for like an outtake of one of them, took the time to just start ripping on T.J. Miller, and apparently T.J. claims that was the final straw. And I don't think anyone believes that side of the story,
Yeah.
but he believes that little incident is why he's on the third one.
Oh.
He like Ryan never liked him, but it's really just because T.J. kind of went nuts.
And by the way, you guys are talking about the T-Mobile ads. AT&T Lily is in Silicon Valley, and oh my goodness.
What?
Oh my. Oh yeah. Just walking around in a kimono, like
You
nothing.
guys are disgusting.
You have no idea, Pat. You have no idea what you're missing.
You're right.
She get the role because of AT&T?
No,
this
I
is
think it's
long
after. This is
before.
before that.
That's the dream, just being a commercial like that.
Yeah, being a commercial.
Collect doesn't Francis like still collects residuals on like a Verizon commercial he did like a decade ago? Yeah.
So Silicon Valley is going up against the number 11 seed. A movie I think a show that got discovered a lot because of The Boys, which is Banshee. This show is, if you like Justified, Banshee is like that unrated, basically, like just slightly darker, a little more intense. Anthony Starr, who's Homelander in The Boys, is the star of Banshee. He's incredible in it. So good. And it's the same guy that did Warrior. He also, I think, did a couple other shows too. The same showrunner. So Banshee going up against Silicon Valley. Start with you, Hubs.
In my head, when you said Silicon, I was like, don't have it against Banshee. Don't have it against Banshee. It's against Banshee. Silicon Valley is so good. When T.J. Miller leaves the show, it does drop off. But his character is so good. That show is thoroughly enjoyable. Banshee is unfucking believable. Banshee is like rural 24 in a way, and like in the sense like it's just this guy to take on the whole town. And I found it exactly how you said. I watched The Boys. I go, who the fuck is playing Homelander? Anthony Starr. Well, what is he doing? Oh, you got to watch Banshee. Watch Banshee. Unfucking believable.
They made Amish people seem cool. Like,
oh my god,
badass.
It is. It's so badass. It's the definition of getting slept on. Anthony Starr. If we did actors that are underappreciated, it's Anthony Starr. That guy should win an Emmy every single year for Homelander, and he should have won it for Banshee too. It is awesome. The first few episodes hook you like no other. Like I think that is so important to a show. And I mean, the Captain Obvious statement here, but like, you know, you got to have a good start to hook me in. Like, I think The Bear sucks at that. That's why I couldn't get in The Bear. I don't really like The Bear because the beginning shit just doesn't do it for me. But Banshee, you watch that shit, I am hooked. I'm staying on. 8 hours have passed. I'm already done with the first season. Like, I fucking love Anthony Starr and I love Banshee. So that's moving on.
Very, very good show. And well cast. Like all the tertiary guys around him are all very well.
Hot women too. So that also helps.
Also true. Also, I believe his wife in Banshee is Raylan Givens' wife in Justified.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just put that together in my head. I'm pretty sure that's
Natalie Zay.
I'm gonna take her word on it. Pretty sure that's right.
Oh no, I'm right. I don't know if she's the one in Banshee, but I promise you she's the one in Justified.
You know, I just remember in Silicon. I don't. You know, I just remembered from Silicon Valley too. Zach Woods in Silicon Valley is so fucking funny. He is unreal in that. Do you remember the ones? And I'm not sure who here has actually seen it.
Which Silicon Valley?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's the one scene where they're like trying to walk in and deliver like some secret document, and Zach Woods says to Kumail, he's like, "Nice chain." What's his name? Like. Nice chain, Kumail. Did your like your mom give it to you after you fucked her in the ass? And like Zach Woods delivering that line is just so fucking funny.
I remember exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and they all trip over and fall. It's such a good show. So one for Banshee, none for Silicon Valley. Pat.
I'm gonna say first that was very impressive watching you silently open a melon bag while we were on the thing and eat it. It's very sneaky. Banshee versus what?
Silicon Valley.
I gotta go Silicon Valley. Despite Banshee being an early 2000s Yamaha ATV, which was a staple for their line, which makes you want to go.
You
for
are
that.
such a piece of trash.
Yeah,
Right.
That's talking about white trash. Jesus Christ.
Motorcycle Pat.
No, I mean, I gotta go with whatever the fuck it was I just
Silicon
said.
Valley?
Silicon Valley. Yeah, I haven't seen the other one, but Silicon Valley was just so good and quick and witty and funny. I'm going with them.
In my head, this is kind of like a battle between like I think Silicon Valley like overall like pound for pound, Silicon Valley is the better show and did not get I feel like the run it deserved, and maybe it's because some of the stuff went beyond parody with like they make fun of Elon and stuff like that, and that all was blown up. But fuck, man, Banshee's so good. I'd go with Silicon Valley just by a hair, and it's really tough for me on that one. Vibbs.
I have not seen Banshee, but Silicon Valley I have seen, and I just think Mike Judge is very underrated. He's just so good at taking like simple everyday interactions and bringing out the comedy in them. That's been there. I Mike Judge, anything Mike Judge, Silicon Valley.
3 for Silicon Valley.
I'm gonna go Banshee because I've never seen it, and because I watched Silicon Valley fairly recently, and I actually think it's like properly appreciated. It falls off hard
After the
It's-
TJ, yeah.
Once he leaves, it's really.
It's 6 seasons, and by season 3, you're kind of like, all right, I think I get it.
Okay.
I watched it all. I've seen it all twice, couple times, but I think it's properly appreciated. People are like, oh, it's really funny. That's about it. So I'll go Banshee.
Banshee, Doogs.
I'm totally blinded by this because Silicon Valley is one of those shows that I watched in high school, and all my friends were like, this is one of the best shows out right now. You have to watch it. So I honestly didn't even think of it as being underappreciated. With that said, I love Anthony Starr. Banshee, from everything that you said, sounds terrific. And it's one of the shows that I'm actually going to watch after this episode. So I'll vote Banshee.
What Feits just said is so important to what we're doing here. It's like
True.
everyone kind of just like who people know about Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All my friends, and like you said, all your friends.
No, that's
know of it. Like
No one thinks it's the greatest show ever, but yeah, it's
there's
really
like a
funny.
generational disconnect for me right now where like I was too young to watch like all these shows you guys are talking about, like, but I know most of them. Where like Silicon Valley was like my friends were like, this show kicks ass, and then I was like, awesome, like this is awesome. And then as TJ Miller left, I was like, it's not that good.
Turn it off.
Like, yeah, I didn't even finish it.
Yeah. I would say a lot of people haven't finished Silicon Valley for like that reason. But like with Banshee, people watch The Boys. They have no idea that he's.
I think he's unbelievable, and I think you nailed it on all fronts. Like anything that he's in at this point, like I want to watch.
I want him to be every character, every supervillain in every movie.
Yeah.
If he's not casted, it's a mistake.
I think you've swayed me on that. I'm going to change my vote over to Banshee and move it on. So Banshee's going to move on. Now we have the 3 seed versus the 14 seed. The 14 seed, this is Vibbs and Pat's options.
I'm embarrassed of my options that I gave after hearing
just-
everyone else's.
Oh, dude, I'm not. Give me fucking Tammy and Amy, 1,000-pound sisters. I'm going to war for those big.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, I almost put Phineas and Ferb because I didn't know where we were going.
Brother, I put Mummies Alive.
So to start out, their combo options.
I put 60 minutes.
We have that
I
was
almost put
Pat's
SNL.
first submission to this entire thing was Pat
Underrated.
saying.
I love 60 minutes.
So Pat has
My mom does. My mom will get mad at football's on.
Well, I get pissed off.
Christ,
60
the
minutes
game's
is
still
delayed.
on.
Oh. It's the worst.
So Pat's options are My Strange Addiction,
Yes.
Hoarders, John and Kate +8, which I watched bits and pieces of when it came out. I've watched some replays since. She's so fucking mean to that guy.
The meltdown.
It's so funny.
The spousal abuse is world
It's
class.
insane they documented that, and we're just like, let's make
Great
more
options
seasons
so
of it.
far.
Yeah.
Naked and Afraid, My 600-Pound Life, which I almost what's the one with the fat sisters?
That's 1,000-pound sisters. 600-pound life is the doctor who comes into the room and he goes, "You need to stop eating so much." And
Oh,
he has
that's
a
the
little.
Stephen Asante
He has a little
guy.
gold stethoscope. You know it, Vibbs.
I love the shows.
That's the Asante one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hoarders, another. Oh, that one's bleak. And then Vibbs has Malcolm in the Middle, which I agree. That is a very
that was great.
underappreciated. That's a great selection.
1,000-pound
That's my
sisters.
one good pick.
Mommy's Alive.
Yeah, baby, Mummy's Alive.
I don't even know what that is.
Mummy's Alive.
I don't even know what that is. I have no
Brother,
fucking clue.
You had to wake up. You had to wake up at like 6:30 a.m. before school to catch it. It only played once. It was so good.
This is not a. What is this show?
Oh, it's these mummies that are like superheroes because someone opened up a
Is
sarcophagus.
it animated?
It's an animated
yeah.
series. Oh
Okay.
wait.
I mean, I was like 8 when I was watching it, but I loved it. I loved it so
It's on
much.
Indiana local TV.
Yeah.
like a Jackie Chan adventures type show.
Okay,
Yes.
no. Actually, Jackie Chan.
Great
Adventures
show.
is pretty good. Solid.
Anyone picks anything other than 1,000-pound sisters, you're dead to me.
Busy World of Richard Scary.
The fuck?
You don't remember that on Nick Jr.?
I love the stare you just gave him as if like it's the most popular show.
Busy
ever.
World of Richard
You're like,
Scary.
what do you mean?
When you stayed home,
haven't heard of The Office?
when you stayed home
You just
sick
did.
from school, and Busy World of Richard Scary was on, you're like, oh fuck yeah.
What
this is
channel?
gonna Be good. It was Nick Jr.
Okay.
So I was like,
Isn't he on the Good Nick?
it was sick.
What the fuck is this?
Busy World of Richard Scary
It's just
was ruled.
It's a cat that's a firefighter. What is? it?
Yeah, I don't really know. The worm like had an Apple helicopter in the intro.
So you're watching this while I'm watching Las Vegas. Is basically
No, I was like 7 years old. Tommy Moorhead and I, we were watching it.
Kids shows are weird though because there's like a 3-year window frame.
Yeah.
Like you could just miss it by like 1 year.
Well, Busy World of Richard
Captain
Scary was
Planet?
Universal.
And then the last one Vibbs had was Just Shoot Me.
That was
actually a pretty good
that was-
show.
I watched Joe Dirt, and I was like, David Spade's the funniest man alive. And then I started watching Just Shoot Me. The Boss was hilarious.
Joe Rogan was in there, I think.
It had a crazy cast.
Wait, he's just shooting. I thought that
Or
was
no, that was news.
news radio.
News radio.
Just Shoot
Andy
Me, very,
Dick.
very underrated.
So to run through these options again: My Strange Addiction, Hoarders, John and Kate +8, Naked and Afraid, My 600-Pound Life, Hoarders, Malcolm in the Middle, Mummies Alive, The Busy World of Richard Scary, and Just Shoot Me.
Wait, 1,000-pound sisters wasn't in there?
Thousand Bad Sisters was not in there.
Can you replace fucking
600
Hoarders with 600-pound life?
All right. With-
Hoarders with 1,000-pound sisters?
Yes.
Have you not? Has no one seen?
I've seen all
1,000-pound
these. Every single option.
It is.
so funny.
Oh my god, is it good?
Yeah, the one
Fantastic.
scene where she's like the bigger one is like talking to the doctor, and
She's 1,000 pounds.
she's literally 1,000. Like
I would hope so.
and she smokes cigarettes, and she dates this skinny little black dude who's probably 90 pounds.
if that, and
They have
like
fights. Oh, it's great.
she's talking to the doctor. She's like, I think I might be pregnant. I've been craving things I've never craved before, like water. And like, and their sister's just like, you're just thirsty, bitch. What are you talking about?
It's great.
It's so fucking funny.
I calls her like a fat fuck and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Literally, it's so funny. So again, let's start now with Hubs.
Do the right thing, Eric.
Okay. I'm not going Malcolm in the Middle because when that was on, it would piss me off that nothing like other things weren't on. That's one of the shows. I just I want to watch anything. Like I forget what other shows would even be close to that in the time. But I remember like
Simpsons, King of the Hill,
yeah. So like I want to watch those.
Family Guy.
Yeah. So I was like I don't want to watch Malcolm in the Middle. I'm gonna just ride with Pat here, and I'm gonna go here because I never got into like that shitty enough TV. That's on me. But 1,000-Pound Sisters, that just sounds absolutely outrageous.
I'm going to stand up for you. It's not on you.
No, this is like a good reflection on you that you're not into it.
shitty TV
Just
like that is
think
good every
about
now
what
and
it-
then.
No,
Isn't the commitment to food that you have to have to balloon yourself to 1,000 pounds? The commitment to just bad health is mind blowing.
Wasn't it on TLC, like the Learning Channel? So you're like, oh yeah, I feel like this is
TLC, yeah.
educational. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is so good. One of them just got bit by a llama at a zoo and got arrested because there was weed in the car. It's like you can't make this stuff up.
The lazy eye on one of them too.
Oh,
Yep.
But the other ones like Vibbs, the cartoons, I don't know what it is. I just can't get into cartoons. Not that I guess you're watching this. You're not watching this right now. You were watching it when
Mummy's
you're 7.
alive. Yeah, but yeah.
I just have such a and like Meek Phil that said all he does is watch sports and cartoons, so that rubs me the wrong way. He watches no other TV.
that rubs you the
So,
wrong way that he
yeah.
watches
Don't believe
cartoons.
that's not the only thing.
He's rubbing himself the wrong way.
I just don't like that. It makes
I don't
me
like
feel
that. It
weird.
grosses me out when an
does.
adult watches
It does.
cartoons.
So I'll trust your shitty TV opinion here, and I will ride with 1,000 Pound Sisters.
1,000 pounds.
They'd light those bitches would light up the room if they walked in here right now.
Oh yeah, Tammy and I forget the other one's name.
You don't know how it feels, Tammy. Very famous line.
So you're gonna go with 1,000 Pound Sisters as well.
Of course.
I think in these options, I think Malcolm in the Middle because I rewatched it like probably within the last year and a half or something, and it's way smarter than I remembered it being. Like very funny, really well put together, really good lines that like you appreciate more as an adult than you did as a kid. I think I would roll with Malcolm in the Middle, even though it's definitely much more appreciated than Mummy's Alive
Listen, yeah, that's
or the
true.
World of Richard Scary.
Busy World of Richard Scary. The fans are buzzing for it. They're like, oh yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about.
You definitely have a cult following that's going to go nuts for you right now.
Yeah, I don't know about Mummy's Alive. I don't know if anyone watched that. The show Gargoyles, that was a good cartoon show too. That was like on before I think I went to school.
Mummy's Alive. That
How
would
early
have
were
been
you
Harry.
up?
That would.
What?
How early were you up?
I would have
3 hours of TV before school?
Yeah, no. I would have my mom like wake me up early sometimes to watch like it was like Mummy's Alive, Beast Wars. I'd be like wake me up at 6:30 a.m. And she was like, "All right."
I should
Like
chose
getting ready, and I'm
BattleBots.
just like-
Damn it.
What's that?
I should chose BattleBots.
That was a great show too. I had the video game for that. Yeah. What Whibsy?
Oh, I should say Malcolm in the Middle because it's like it's a real pick, but I'm gonna say Mummy's Alive. The blue one was like a big Hulk strong guy. The purple one like shot his wraps out of his hands, and then there was a hot mummy, and I'd probably jerked off to her whenever I was like
You were a
getting
MILF guy,
to school, yeah. Mummy's Alive.
You're beating off to a sexy mummy.
All before 7 a.m.
Fuck, 3 hours of TV
before the
jerked off and
all before
before you
full
went to
day of
like
work.
5th grade English.
Do you think anyone who is part of Mummy's Alive tells people these days that they were part of Mummy's
You know, I was a voice on Mummy's Alive, like the band that dresses up like mummies. I don't know if you know them.
Yeah.
Mummies, Here Come the Mummies.
It's like Harry Potter's dream.
Brother. It's like a group of Here Come the Mummies is like a group of like Grammy award-winning musicians, but they can't like perform live as themselves, so they dress up as mummies.
That sounds like torture.
Yeah, they're really talented. They're so talented.
My mummy content is Brendan Fraser, and that's it.
That's pretty much
That's
bottom
another good
line,
mummy.
yeah.
I like mummies. What can I say? I'm a mummy guy.
Fights.
I might abstain from this pick.
Then give it to 1,000 Pound Sisters.
No, I will not.
You would be starstruck. If they walk in here, you would be starstruck at them.
I wouldn't recognize. I'd be like,
Oh, brother, you would recognize them.
Spot him.
It's not,
Don't
it's
know
actually-
how
If they came in here, people wouldn't blink. They'd be like, "Oh, the new hire."
That's true. That's true.
New hires. We would hire that. I don't think we can afford them.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
It's probably the gayest thing about me, and there's a long list. That like I hate that television. I
TV.
hate all reality TV.
I do too, but when it's on, like
No,
I
even when it's
can't not.
when it's on, I get like literally I get like physically ill. Like, I really don't like it. Partly because I just don't find it entertaining, but also with these ones in particular, like they're just throwing like $500 at some destitute person is like, hey, can we put you on TV? Everyone laughs at you. Like that's
Tell you, that
kind
dynamic
of fucked
changes.
up.
As long as they're successful, that dynamic changes quick. TLC can't
Window
live
into
without
American culture is what it is.
I'll go Malcolm in the Middle.
them. Malcolm in the Middle, two for Malcolm in the Middle.
I also just like to watch that kind of television to be like angry at something.
See, I don't like doing things that make me angry.
I realize
I'm
that.
angry enough most of the time.
Yeah, I like. I think I like being pissed off.
So I didn't sell you on Mummies Alive.
You like being pissed off?
I think I do. I like being
Watch 1,000-Pound Sisters.
So no, I have.
Why did I vote for that?
I had 3 sisters growing up, so like I had to watch.
They were all 1,000 pounds.
No, but I just had to watch this shitty television. Like John and Kate plus 8, I'd be pissed off at it. I was like, this is the worst mom of all fucking time. Like she's the original Karen. That would be my vote, but I cannot let 1,000-Pound Sister win. I'm going Malcolm in the Middle. I love Malcolm in the Middle. I think it's just a great television show.
Great show.
So Malcolm in the Middle is going to go up against the number 3 seed. Definitely a much, I would say, a more appreciated show than some of the other ones on that chain, which would be Community. Community, I think, over time has gotten more love. When it came out, I think for like years, really, it didn't really get appreciated at all. And then after it came to streaming, definitely got a more of a wave, I would say. It is very funny, very quick, and you forget how many great lines come from it, though. So in that sense, I would say it is pretty underappreciated. So that's going against Malcolm in the Middle, Doogs.
Community. Iconic show, iconic actors, iconic lines. Not going to say the one that's most famous, but
What is it?
Pop.
yep.
That's my favorite.
One for Community.
This is a tough one for me. I guess I'm gonna go Community, but I actually like the diehard fans of Community kind of bother me. Where it's just like every 6 seasons of a movie, 6 it's the greatest show ever. Like Thursday night NBC, Community was by far the worst one. Like it wasn't even close. It's The Office, Parks and Rec, 30 Rock, Community. Community is far and away 4th place there.
Yeah.
So I get but it's almost like J. Cole, where its fans are just annoying. So I'm not even gonna.
Oh yeah, I don't like if a fan base is too passionate about something.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Right.
Like, no offense, Game of Thrones fans, relax.
Like reverse gatekeeping almost. It's hard to know where to explain it.
Yeah.
I like that with Trader Joe's employees. Like I don't like people who work at Trader Joe's. They have a look. They have like an aura about them. A look that really bothers me.
I agree with you on everything besides the Game of Thrones Ricochet shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna honestly, I don't even know if Malcolm in the Middle is underappreciated, but I think Community is properly appreciated. So I'm gonna go Malcolm in the Middle.
1-1 right now. Wibbs.
Yeah, I think Community's like cult following made it
And
like
it
resurface and popular and
very funny, but like cult following is kind of the level it's at. Like,
Yeah.
it's a good show. It's got a cult following. Good for it.
yeah, Malcolm in the Middle like just never got its flowers. But granted, Community
Shocking to me.
Oh, I
Community
think
was,
they
like,
did. They
really?
Malcolm in the Middle was like the #1 show, like for like
I
while.
don't, maybe it's kind of what Kenjac said. I don't think people understand how like smart it was. I think they're just like, this is just like
Goofy sitcom dad.
Yeah.
It made Frankie Muniz so much money. He's now a race car driver for fun.
that is true. That is true.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. They're kind of maybe equal. Because I think maybe Malcolm in the Middle has a cult following, but I'll just go Malcolm in the Middle.
What's kind of crazy too is the guy. I think it was not Danny Masterson because he was on that '70s show, but his brother was on Malcolm in the Middle, and they were both like on 2 of the highest rating sitcoms at that era at '70s show, and I guess Malcolm in the Middle. But I think I would vote with Malcolm in the Middle too. And again, I think it's more like people in retrospect don't appreciate how good it is. You know what I mean? Like if people aren't going back and be like, here's a revival of Malcolm in the Middle. But
I think of Malcolm in the Middle. I don't ever think of it as like the kind of dual show that it is.
Sure.
Like adults, like I watched it as a kid, so my brain thinks it's a kid show.
Yeah.
But like I've seen enough scenes and clips online to be like, oh, that's fucking funny.
Very.
There's parenting jokes and shit.
Yeah. Not even just parent. Like there's stuff where it's just like being in adult scenes. You know what I
Bryan
mean?
Cranston, yeah.
Bryan Cranston is so fucking funny, man. Unbelievable. The fact that he's so horny for Lois throughout that entire movie.
Yeah.
Like ridiculously horny for
The horny husband with the nagging, unappreciated wife.
Dude, that's like the one they kind of like I feel like broke down that sort of stereotype in the sitcom thing where it's like they're both like regular looking people. There's not like some insane hotness imbalance like there usually was, and they love the shit out of each other instead of it being like hot wife, ugly husband, he hates her guts. Like that was the typical dynamic. I feel like it was the kind of
Like King of Queens.
exactly. Like it was a total deconstruction of that, which I really did like a lot. And yeah,
Everyone loves Raymond. Oh god, those were great.
yeah.
Just the fumbling, bumbling husband with the hot wife.
The hottest, most like amazing wife. Yeah.
Has anyone here seen, and I haven't, Kevin Can Fuck Himself?
I thought it was Kevin Can Wait. Or
No. Well, it's Kevin Can Wait. That's why I brought it up, because you said Kevin James. Kevin Can Wait was a sitcom that I guess they unceremoniously fired the wife.
and they replaced her with Leah Remini, right?
Yes, she became a regular. She didn't become the wife, but she became a regular character on the show.
She was a Scientologist. Is that? Right?
No, reverse. Yeah, she's not new.
Not anymore.
Oh, I thought that was how they fired her.
And then in Kevin Can Fuck Himself. It came out. It's fairly recently. Well, I think it's called Kevin Can F Himself, but it's the star of it is Alexa from Schitt's Creek, and that show is like kind of, I guess, flipping the sitcom on its head like that. Where and then they hired the wife from season 1 of Kevin Can Wait. They hired her for season 2 to bring her back to like
get back at it or whatever. Yeah, I got
Kevin
you.
James. I was like, oh, I didn't realize Kevin James went to fire like this.
Yeah.
He's got a whole show called Kevin Can Fuck Himself. He's not in it, by the way.
Go figure. He also, do you remember Kevin James played like a Nazi in a movie pretty recently?
Yeah,
that was
in
wild.
Joel McHale also in that.
Oh,
Becky.
Yeah.
Becky.
Yeah.
Good,
Damn.
good
Kevin
callback.
James
Sean
was
Payton and a Nazi?
massive
Back to back.
Joel McHale was the dad, though, right?
Yeah.
Hey, spoilers.
He was like doing his own thing and then was also just part of the Sandler crew the entire time too.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And he just had a big stand-up thing too. He like did an
Yeah.
arena for like a Netflix stand-up special.
He like sells out. Like it's
He was prime, but yeah.
some.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
You're right. It was Prime. Yeah.
Wah.
So right now we are 3 for Malcolm Middle, 1 for Community.
I am going to pick Malcolm in the Middle because I think people at the time didn't realize how good it was, and they kind of thought of it as a filler show in between shows. But looking back, like there's a lot of dual meaning. Now, I love that with shows too. Like even in like The Simpsons, which I'll occasionally have on, all the stuff that I would laugh at as a kid, like Bart fell down on a skateboard, ha ha ha. Like the response by Homer, like to that is what would make the parents laugh, and I feel like there's a lot of that in Malcolm in the Middle. So that's my choice.
Ubbs?
I said what I said about Malcolm Middle before. I think with you guys talking it up like this feels like I underappreciate it. So I feel like if I don't pick for it, like I'm not doing this justice. So gotta go Malcolm Middle. Bryan Cranston, funny, very funny in that. In a few episodes I have watched, it makes me want to watch more. And I missed out as a kid. Community, yeah, like charming. It's not as funny as Parks and Rec. Like you're not gonna be Parks and Rec. So I'm sorry. Like yeah, you got a little berry there with how packed NBC was at the time. And that in part is a little underappreciated, but the fans are very loud. I'll go back in the middle.
I think
I feel like I don't know humor now after Community just got like roasted. 'Cause I like it so much better than Parks and Rec.
it is a very, very, very good show, but I just agree with it. It did, in me, that's part of it being underappreciated. It did get buried between so many good shows.
Was there something else that night too? There were definitely those 4 were like the 8 to 10 slot, but I feel like something at 10 was funny too.
Like the way you guys are talking about time slots has me so fucked up.
Oh, you don't even know
I
time
don't
slots.
just watch it on the stream. Like you go, something you
you don't
don't
even-
watch too. I'm like,
Wow.
boomer.
Brother, you'd have to wait for a show. A week sometimes.
And it made shows better. Yeah, it made them better.
I'm the guy now that's like, I like waiting for Game of Thrones or like House of the Dragon at like 9 o'clock. I like how like you used to be able to do that. After you guys are talking, I'm like, this shit probably sucked.
It did.
Yeah, and by the way, if you missed it, you missed it.
Gotta wait for the
Imagine a
DVD.
cliffhanger for a week.
Streaming, it wasn't going on some fucking like it was. You just didn't see the show that week.
Or like if you were late, change channels back, then no credits. Nope, don't know the ending.
Oh, you'd have to be so good with the clicker. Me and my brother would be like, last channel, go, we're going to miss it. Give me it, you fucking idiot. Take the clicker back.
The clicker discipline was key back in the day.
That's very funny. I forgot all about that.
Big time. So Malcolm in the Middle is going to move on. Now we have the 7 seed versus the 10 seed. The 7 seed, this is another one where I'm not sure, but I'm hoping at least one person here has seen it because it is very good. It's an HBO one that really got lost in the sort of
Cat House.
I would say of HBO having so many good shows, and the fact that it debuted after the end of Sopranos, which took place in the same fucking place, which is Boardwalk Empire. Boardwalk Empire is unbelievably good, and just nobody really watched it because it came out right after Sopranos, same area, same kind of like general crime syndicate shit. It is so fucking good, and so many different actors are incredible, and Steve Buscemi is outstanding. Michael K. Williams, fucking go down the list of every supporting actor in that show. They're all incredible in that, and the production value is amazing as well.
Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon is, what's his name? Agent whatever with like the Prohibition group. So good. And that's going against number 10 seed. This is, I want to say this is USA Network. People love this show. It still gets a lot of hype. And I feel like it's kind of going to come around in the same way that Zach Braff and Donald Faison are coming back. And that's Psych. And Psych has gotten movies now. I think they got 2 movies maybe come out since then. People love Psych. I never really got into it. They fucking loved it. They spammed the replies with everything in this with Psych. So Psych versus Boardwalk Empire. Start with you, Hubs.
I'm just going back to see what his name was. Sean Spencer. The character's name in Psych.
Oh yeah.
I was trying to. Psych is like I couldn't tell you actors' names, or whatever. But like that would be on. It's just like easy watch. But Boardwalk Empire got slept on, and Boardwalk Empire has to be the pick. Buscemi is a star. Obviously, I mean, Steve Buscemi I'm not going to give him his flowers.
Bobby Cannavale in that too. Unreal.
The cast is great. The story's great. It's Boardwalk Empire.
Stephen Graham playing
And like it getting it on HBO, right? Yeah. HBO helps it being slept on as well.
Yeah.
USA help that definitely like gained popularity for Psych. They're both good. Like, I have a good time watching either, but I'll go Empire.
Boardwalk Empire.
It was Empire versus what?
Psych.
And like you said, Psych is an easy watch. I don't enjoy an easy watch like Doogs. I want something that's gonna like fuck me up, or like I want to like be awake, like with adrenaline pumping through my veins. Boardwalk Empire I watched and I loved, but it was slept on because Sopranos overshadowed it. So I'm going on Boardwalk Empire.
Boardwalk Empire. I would do Boardwalk Empire as well. The I think it was Jack Huston, the guy who the World War I vet with like, the thing on his face. So fucking good in that show. Holy hell. And what's his name? Daredevil's in that as well. I forgot when they go to like the IRA shit. Vibbs.
I haven't seen either, so I'm going to do the noble thing and abstain from voting.
Fair enough. Fights.
My heart wants to say Psych. I love Psych. I love Sean Spencer. I love his girlfriend. They perfectly did the will they won't they in that show, because it was like a lot of shows it'll be like season 1 will they won't they, season 2 they're doing it. Mm-hmm. I don't think actually maybe they did. Never mind. Whatever. It's great. My head is gonna go Boardwalk Empire because I haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm. Boardwalk. Oh, you'd love it.
Yeah,
so good.
I couldn't hate a show more than I hate Psych. I love Boardwalk. I have a strong disdain in my heart for the.
Really? Why?
I will admit this, as a Psych lover, I can see why people would hate it.
Yeah.
If someone's like, I hate Psych, I'm not like, you're crazy. Like, I get it. Yeah.
With that said, I'm gonna vote Boardwalk Empire. Some of my favorite side characters in like all movies get a lot of shine in the show. It's very funny the fact that you guys keep talking about how like it got outshined by Sopranos, because like that just wasn't my experience at all. Someone was just like, you'll really like this show, and I was like, okay, I'll watch it.
Dude, Boardwalk Empire really was just like every character actor got a chance to be a main actor, and we're all amazing. Like think like Michael Shannon, like he was like really not ever giving a chance to shine. Amazing in that. Again, Buscemi's always been a side character for the most part. Really got a chance to shine in that. So many good actors in that show. There's
a guy in the show. Have you guys ever seen like The Watcher, the New Jersey Netflix show about like someone watches the house?
Bobby Cannavale. You're talking about Bobby Cannavale, right?
Yeah, he's always walking around here too.
Yeah. Wait, Bobby Cannavale?
Yeah, I've seen him like 4 times.
Glenny Ball's hottest guy alive.
He is
That's what
very
Glenny
hot.
thinks.
I think we were talking hottest guy alive in the office once. We were like, some people were like Gosling, Ryan Reynolds. Glenny's just like, what about Bobby Cannavale?
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Just the most Italian thing ever.
See his hog in Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
A plus hog.
Never mind. Maybe Glenny's onto something.
So Boardwalk Empire moves on. Now we have the 2 seed versus the 15 seed. The 15 seed now is Fights' options. So we have Damages. I've never seen Damages. I always heard it was very good.
Damage is sick.
Yeah.
Glenn Close, FX.
Yeah. Slow Horses, which now people are starting to come around on because it won like 18 award cycles in a row, won everything, and now people are starting to like get around and be like, oh, I should watch this show that Apple TV just never promotes.
It's crazy.
Despite it winning everything. You're the Worst, which I never even heard of.
Yeah, You're the Worst FX show.
FX show?
FX comedy. Very funny. Both actors, like the leads, I recognize and I know, but I can't remember either of their names.
Aya Cash, who was in The Boys.
Yeah.
She's recently in The Boys. And Chris Gear, who I don't know.
He's British, if that helps.
Yeah.
You're the Worst is really good.
Then there is Crashing, which is another one I haven't heard of.
Crashing.
Oh, that was good.
Holmes on HBO. Great show.
Artie Lang was in that too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I like
Artie
that
Lang,
show.
yeah.
That was very great pick. It was very unappreciated.
Luther, which I loved. That was a great pick. That's a great detective series.
That one's like kind of borderline because that I almost feel like maybe is even community territory where like the fans are so loud.
Yeah.
It did get a Netflix movie, like underappreciated, maybe not.
Good movie too.
Good movie, yeah.
Happy Valley. And then this one Manhunt Unabomber.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
Manhunt Unabomber. It's on Netflix. It is obviously about the Unabomber, but like they're big actors in it. It's a big show.
Is it a documentary? Or is it like
What's that?
Is it a documentary? Or is it like a real show?
No, it's a show.
Oh, shit.
Who fucking plays? Who's in Marvel? The guy with the fucking diamond in his head.
Paul Bettany.
Kodak Black.
Paul Bettany, I believe he plays the Unabomber in
Wait,
this.
Benedict Cumberbatch?
No, it's
Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany's
No,
Vision.
I was just thinking of Doctor Strange.
Yeah. So Jack Huston, who was in Boardwalk Empires in this, Sam Worthington, who's a main dude in obviously Avatar and a couple other things. Terminator Salvation, very slept on movie.
Talk about
Underrated
underrated movie. Christian Bale's so good.
You want to talk about underappreciated movies? Terminator Salvation's way up there. Cameron Britton, who's in Mindhunter, I believe. He's like the big not Ed Gein. Who's the big dude in Mindhunter? I forget, but the tiny mustache. Yeah, there's some people. You got
It's
some.
like 6 or 7 episodes probably. It's great. It's only one season. I think they have Manhunt : different people.
Okay.
Unabomber. That one's very good. I can't speak to the other ones.
Gotcha. So to run through Feits' options again, he has Damages, Slow Horses, You're the Worst, Crashing, Luther, Happy Valley, Manhunt, Unabomber. Start with Doogs.
Yeah, I love Manhunt Unabomber. That's gonna be mine. I just love shows also in general, like kind of like the Menendez brothers that's coming out right now. Like
Did you watch it yet?
I'm in the middle of it.
Fuck.
I know what happens. I really like fucked up shit. Like I would just, I'll just end up on Wikipedia just looking up death all night.
Yeah.
Not like that. Not like that. Not like just like OJ murder, like
I'm
Menendez.
the same way. I was on. I was trying to find pictures of the real bodies shot up as I was watching.
Yeah, like-
and they have them.
And I'm on like TikTok and like it'll be like lost mystery cases and I'm like watching TikToks about like people that have gone like missing and I'm like trying to see like what happens.
I'll watch this.
Yeah.
What's that? Well, they have that one soundbite that always plays, like the really creepy soundbite where it's like,
Yeah,
that
it's like a
sound.
7-minute video.
oh,
You guys are all reminding me of one of the most depressing things I've ever read, which was in Theo Epstein's.
Knew you were gonna say.
In Theo Epstein's piece, once he left the Red Sox, they had like an expose on him in ESPN the magazine, and he was talking about why he knew he needed to leave, and he realized he was the most depressed he'd ever been, and because he would be at Fenway Park in his office, only light on in the whole park, and he would just sit there at like midnight, late hours, just listening to the air traffic controller calls for plane crashes.
holy shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he definitely was right.
Don't
to
make
leave.
that face. You fucking do it. You basically do this.
Yeah, but that's like.
I would like to say he's way more fucked up than me. He's way more fucked up than me.
You know who's equally.
Oh, he's more fucked up than me.
No,
Wait, you know who's
shit's fucked.
You know who's even more fucked up than me? White Sox Dave. White Sox Dave sent me a Reddit of combat footage.
Oh my god.
He's like, check this out. I was like, Jesus. And Billy Football showed me one.
You and Billy have some conversations.
Billy Football showed me one of these people, these cannibals, literally eating a guy's dick while he was alive.
Christ.
Sorry. Anyway,
Billy
Theo
thing.
Epstein plane crashes. You're
More to that story. Are you gonna finish the story?
No, it was.
You would follow people home.
Oh yes, yeah. But that one's a little different.
What do you mean?
That's a little different. When he was like the young wonderkind GM of the Red Sox, he was 26. He was dealing with a lot of like anxiety and stuff like that. And he would follow once he recognized someone didn't recognize him, he would just walk with them. So like they didn't want to talk to him, they didn't want to harass him, and he would like just like walk as far, like he wouldn't be side by side with them, but he would just like stay close to them because he was like, all right, I'm around someone who doesn't know me. Thank God.
Not to steal a Twitter thing, you couldn't torture the shit out of me in an expose. Like I would never admit any of those. He's a crazy
I
person.
don't have to say these.
That's insane.
I used to watch car accidents on like compilation of cars.
The Russian ones? I'd watch those.
I just watch a bunch of.
Now I have to.
I hate that.
30-minute car accident.
It's too grainy. Russian dash
The
cam
Russian
footage,
dash
too
cams,
grainy.
they smash into someone's and the fucking cars flipping. It's
I'll give you warnings for anything on Twitter now. I think I'm just like watching like a traffic.
I'm in titty Twitter and I can't fucking get out of it.
Why don't you guys just use your fucking following? Like I don't use my For You.
I never think to do it.
I just look at the people I chose to follow and I look at what they posted.
They're all boring. It's all people we work with.
because there's death.
so right now we have one for the Manhunt Unabomber.
I think I'm probably gonna go Happy Valley here. Happy Valley is fantastic. If you like British like detective shows, it's awesome. And I've made this argument before too. With I love like the BBC.
Nice.
Yeah. I
paused too long.
I
Paused too
paused
long.
thinking someone's gonna say pause, and I
did he?
whatever. I just love BBC like cop shows. That's like a reason to get rid of guns because of BBC cop shows.
Here we go. Now we're getting a clip, brother.
When you're-
Let's get on it. Let's start talking.
When you watch those shows and the cops just can't shoot the person, it's a much better show.
That's okay. It's like getting rid of cell phones in a horror movie or something.
Yeah. Like,
If
all
you
right.
use their voice and to stick.
But Happy Valley is fantastic.
What was a really good? You ever watch Bodyguard with Richard Madden?
No, but I heard. Oh wait, yes. One of the better
That
opening
was
scenes.
awesome.
The opening scene is unbelievable.
The whole opening episode is him trying to talk down a suicide bomber in
Yeah.
a train. The whole opening episode. And
TJ Miller actually, which is crazy.
It's a crazy part.
Oh, I miss TJ Miller. I want him to do something crazy again.
Get him on. You come on out about it.
TJ Miller has range.
Yeah, I saw like a
does.
picture of him shaving his head. I'm not sure if that was fake. Whatever. Whipsy.
He directed Yogi Bear. Like that's a T.J. Miller. Yeah. And I think that's
Got
where,
range.
I think that's where he found out he had like a brain tumor and they like had to have surgery on his brain. Yeah, and that's why he's I don't know. The only one of those I've seen is Crashing, and I thought that was solid. But like, I haven't seen the Unabomber show, but like I know the story, and like I just found out about it not too long ago. That dude was on the loose for like 30 years, sending pipe bombs to the mail, and then he lived out.
Sick, yeah.
Yeah, he lived out every man's dream of just like moving into the woods and just being on his own.
He was
I
a
never
Massachusetts
knew-
guy, right?
Is it a documentary?
No, it's
There-
he went through
dramatization.
all the major actors in it.
Yeah.
I don't know where I
There is
was.
there is a documentary though about it, and it's good.
He was on the run for 30 years?
Yeah, just mailing bombs.
And it worked?
Who's his brother in-
Yeah.
in that show is from the league.
Good for him.
They
The guy who like
Which guy in the league?
the press guy, who in real life, the brother.
Oh, J. Duplass?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I think it's Mark.
Mark, one of the two.
Yeah.
Mark Duplass is great.
He plays the Unabomber's brother in that show. But the I didn't realize until watching it that like we just made him.
What do you mean?
Like we made the Unabomber.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh, okay, I get what
like,
you're saying.
he was just a result of like being forced into Harvard and what is it?
He hated technology,
LSD
Kaczynski.
test.
Well, he was like a test
but-
subject to like some psychology professor.
What do they call it? It was the
Acid tests.
No,
He's an
the,
asset?
the CIA is like Project X or something like that.
I know what that is.
MK Ultra.
MK
Ultra.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize like he was an MK Ultra.
I love a
thought he was
genius who
lunatic.
uses their powers for evil.
He was a Massachusetts guy, right? Kid Kaczynski, I think.
That's
I
what those
thought
crazies are
Michigan-
from.
He went to school in
Never mind.
Michigan.
Illinois. I thought he went to or was like not UMass. He was a Harvard guy or something.
That's
Harvard.
where MK Ultra, all that stuff happened.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
He was Oklahoma. He was the one who did the Oklahoma.
He was like
No, no.
15 at the time too. Like he wasn't an adult.
Yeah.
He was a kid at Harvard.
Yeah, gotcha.
Who did Oklahoma City then?
That's
Timothy McVeigh.
McVeigh, yeah.
The Unabomber is just a guy who would just send shit to like people's
Send bombs to
mailboxes.
Yeah, he only killed like 3 people, so which is not that many.
In the
people
Unabomber
over 30
picture,
years.
the famous picture is not. It's not him.
Yeah.
I know
How many
nothing
people?
about
How many bombs did he send out?
Maybe like 13.
He just made.
Like it was like the most expensive manhunt to date. Like because
Yeah.
everyone was just searching for him. And
Is
they
he still
spending all their
alive?
money.
What
the hell is
Oh, he
this?
just died.
Damn.
Yeah, he died. Let's see, the 23rd. Oh, everything's okay over there. Oh, I think they were doing like the test.
Doesn't seem to be an emergency because
They weren't running.
they were chilling. Okay, so right now we
Watch that show.
Vibbs. Which one were you going? You were going with
Or Unabomber. Everyone should know about the Unabomber.
Know nothing.
another one for the Unabomber. I think between these ones, I think Feits kind of sold me on the Luther thing. I would have picked Luther. I think now I'll go with Slow Horses. I still haven't seen Slow Horses, but the fact that everyone I know that's seen it loves it, says it's one of the best shows ever, and the fact that it's won 1 trillion awards, and I still could maybe tell you like in person, and we're very online, very in the TV world. I think I know 2 people that have seen it.
Really?
It's like Jeff just started it, and like one other person maybe, and that's it. And it reminds me a lot of like Kaminsky Method. Do you remember when that was winning like every award?
Yes.
And nobody saw that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The first season of Slow Horses, I thought was okay. I actually think they made a conscious decision to make Gary Oldman less gross. Like the first season, he's just the most
be gross.
grotesque human. You like he's farting all the time and he's like burping and it's just like he looks gross. It's very off-putting. He's still off-putting the rest of the series, but like the first season, it's like it's too much.
So we have 2 for Manhunt, 1 for Happy Valley, 1 for Slow Horses. Pat.
I was gonna pick Crashing, but I feel like that kind of got like what it deserved. Like it was good, it wasn't great, and I feel like enough people know about it. But this Unabomber thing has me intrigued.
Okay.
Maybe there's a copycat crime on the horizon. So I'm gonna pick the Unabomber.
3
It's fucked up. It'll keep me on the edge of my seat.
3 for the Unabomber.
UB baby.
The brackets can be used for evidence. And,
Yeah, right.
I know nothing. Me and him had a side conversation just now. We thought the OKC bombing was the Unabomber.
no.
I don't know anything. I want to know about it. You guys have hooked me on that. It's not my pick, but I'm going to watch it. So it's going to gain a viewer. The Slow Horses hysteria and everything is crazy, where it is getting no hype and it is getting all the awards. And I feel like everyone who watches the show is doing such a good job of like telling everyone to watch the show.
Yeah.
So hopefully that is going to change. So Slow Horse has to be the pick because I've heard nothing but great things about the show.
Apple TV has a lot of good shows, and they do zero marketing for anything. It's crazy.
Nuts.
They just need you, brother. They
don't
got
want
so
to
much
promote
money.
their things.
Yeah, I guess so. They have literally an endless supply of money.
It's like the guy who tries to promote MLB, Major League Baseball, is doing.
Yeah,
Apple TV as well.
exactly.
It's like, nope.
So the Unabomber Manhunt show is going to go back to number 2 seed, and I hate to do this to you, Fights, but it's 30 Rock. And 30 Rock.
Fuck.
So you go back and rewatch 30 Rock. Every episode has so many fucking hysterical lines, and it really doesn't have much of a fall off. And it ran forever.
Yeah.
It ran so long, and so many great side characters, top to bottom. I mean, Jack Donahue alone is
It's all time. An all time character.
I love when Tracy Morgan was at breakfast and they go, I'll have an apple juice. And they go, we don't have that. He goes, all right, I'll have a vodka soda. Yeah. First one of my favorite lines of all time.
It's the first episode. That's literally the first
Is
episode.
it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'll do that sometimes because I like don't drink much anymore, and I'll do like I'll go out and be like, yeah, can I have a non-alcoholic beer? And they'll be like, nah, we don't have any. I'll go, I'll just do a glass of wine then. I mean, what? I'm like,
Not sorry. Try to take it easy.
They'll change that menu.
I just did the reverse of that. I was part of a wedding, and we get there at noon. We have like 2 hours to kill before start getting ready. So we're watching college football. Everyone orders a drink. I order Rebel vodka at a like premier Boston like clubhouse. Like everyone's in like a blazer. I'm like, can I have a Rebel vodka? She goes, we do not have.
Yeah, do not do that here.
I have Rebels. I'll have a Coke instead. Everyone's just like, what the fuck was that?
Fuck you.
That is wild.
Dude, Jack Donahue, I think nobody was maybe ever in the history of TV better cast than Alec Baldwin was for the character of Jack Donahue. They are perfect melds of human actor and character.
it's also so much funnier when you realize like he's saying the exact opposite of what he thinks.
Yeah.
Like I think that's awesome that he did it, and it's so funny the way he does it.
Yeah. Oh, the fucking convection oven, man. There's so many different like things throughout that show.
The Pontiac Aztec.
Just the way he makes his voice like high and then he'll be like very low.
Yeah. and they call that out when it's him and Will Arnett.
Yeah.
And I think there's a line with Liz Lemon's like, what do you guys have, like a low talking contest?
Yeah. Dude, and Liz Lemon too, just that character being like self-deprecating and being like the perfect level of it. You know what I mean? Where it's like sometimes she doesn't get it. She doesn't know that she's being self-deprecating, but then what she's saying, like, what was the line? I think I saw you post a while back where she was like, what do you call it? Wednesdays? Am I right? And he's like, it's Monday or something.
Yeah. Monday, Lemon.
Yeah. So many great.
No. Oh, what a week, huh?
Yeah.
Because it's Wednesday, Lemon.
So 30 Rock is going to go up against the Manhunt Unabomber. Tough matchup here. Hubs.
I'm going 30 Rock. Alec Baldwin is so good. Tracy Morgan, the whole cast. I haven't seen it from start to finish, but like it's one of those you just jump in.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good, and it should be more appreciated than it is because it's not like everyone's favorite. Like it should be more everyone's like favorite comedy.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. So I go 30 Rock.
See, based on the rules, I want to go with the Unabomber because everybody knows about fucking 30 Rock. There's not a person on the planet that
They know
The
about
more words he says with you, I'm getting more concerned.
He has a great book.
Smile going on now.
It's a book.
sleep with it under my pillow.
Have it.
How do you feel about people destroying the environment?
I don't know, man. I mean,
That was his
I
whole,
guess
like,
30
platform.
Rock is so good that even if it is appreciated, it's not appreciated enough.
I think that's the idea to think about. Yeah. So another one for 30 Rock. I would go 30 Rock as well. I mean, every fucking character. The producer I always thought was really fucking funny. Like the bald guy. That's like.
Yeah.
He always was so fucking funny.
Producers in some of these shows, I worked on Larry Wilmore on Comedy Central back in the day, and there was this guy who was the executive producer, Rory Albanese. Shout out to Rory Albanese.
Yeah.
He was Jon Stewart's head writer back in the day, and every day before like we filmed the show, we do like a meeting, a production meeting. He would have the room in fucking tears. And he was the producer, just like one of the funniest guys in the world. He's passed at the Comedy Cellar, like is not out to be this huge comedian, but if the producer is funny, it trickles in. So
Yep.
I get that.
Dude, it's so good.
I worked with him one time, and he was the best. And he was like, the best thing about this is whenever I leave here, no one knows who I am, and I can just like go do whatever I want. If Jon Stewart left here, like everyone's like crowding him and asking
Yeah.
for like autographs and stuff.
He was great. Rory Albanese. Very funny.
Dude, even like Jack McBriar's like immortal fucking page character. So many different things, like layers and different long running gags throughout 30 Rock that just kill me. So I'm going with that.
Yeah, 30 Rock. I've watched it once all the way through. I loved it. And even I don't appreciate it because I never watched it again, even though I loved it. Every episode's great. Tracy Morgan's fantastic.
Dude, Rory would walk. One more thing. I'm sorry. Rory would walk into the production meeting sometimes, and he's kind of like this like sweaty guy, and he had his hair, and he'd walk in, and just as a bit, he'd be like, "All right, what do we got here?" And he'd like light up a cigarette in front of everyone, and it'd be like, "Dude, what is that? It's 20, whatever." Oh, he's killing me. Anyway,
Fights.
I'm gonna go 30 Rock. I also am currently realizing that I'm kind of the annoying Community fan for 30 Rock, but it's so good. It's so good. It is. I say this a lot, but of that Thursday night lineup, it's the funniest. If you want to make an argument that like Parks and Rec or The Office is the better show, I can hear it. But like the funniest show is by far 30 Rock. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go with that. Also, if you like 30 Rock, I recommend the book Romantic Comedy. It is basically it's a novel fake story, but it's like it's basically 30 Rock. It's really good.
Would you say Jack is the funniest character of that NBC lineup? Or do you just go that far?
Don, he's so fucking good.
He's so good, Steve.
It's a measured thing, you know what I mean? Where it's
Yeah.
like he wasn't always the main character. Like Steve Carell was always the main guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, there's just so many great characters on there. Like every character on there, basically, literally every, even like the janitor. Every time he pops up, always cracks me up. Like it's so.
Jenna Maroney, that SNL actress that would always show up, like she was like the cat tamer, I think in the first episode. Like she would show up as like a different thing every time. She was really funny.
Yeah, dude. You know who a girl I was friends with in college. Her college roommate was her like childhood and best friend who always came over and like slept over the weekend was the receptionist.
Is the reception? Oh, it's
Whose name I forget.
Another
now. We unfortunately did not go to the same school, so I didn't meet her. But
also like what's his name? Tracy Morgan's bodyguards in that.
Yeah,
So fucking funny. Yeah, .com and Tebow.
.com and .com and
.com was such a good name.
he also just played himself.
Yeah,
exactly. Which is also just a great
Like when
thing.
he was when he was trying to get sober in the show, he was trying to do that in real life.
when he's got the scene where he like everyone's starting to think he's there's a picture of him walking out of a restaurant and he's like, Liz Lemon, I can't have this. Look at this. I look like a normal person.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, Tracy, you just walked out of a restaurant. Like, I think it's like actually nice press. He's like, I'm walking in backwards.
Fuck, it's so good, dude. Doogs.
Yeah. I have one question. What was like the qualm or like the con about 30 Rock? Was there anything?
I don't know. It just never took off in the same way that The Office or Parks and Rec
was it
did.
running on the same night as The Office? Is that why it got overshadowed?
It cleaned up when you guys had to like choose what time slot to watch. It cleaned up at the award ceremony. So I watched it later on. I was like, this show is awesome. It's so funny. And like, I feel better about talking about it now. Like, I thought I was the only person that thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like cleaned up because it was like, oh, like this isn't like funny. It just won the awards. I love that show.
It's cool.
I feel like a weight's lifted off my shoulders. It's 30 Rock.
I think it kind of really qualifies here. Like everyone's seen The Office. Like everyone's seen like Parks and Rec. Like not really. When you go and ask like for your friends and shit. Like I feel like not a lot have seen 30 Rock. Like, oh yeah, I've heard of it. I never watched it.
I thought it was like the most popular show of all time when I was younger.
It should be.
It should be. Dude, Jenna Maroney too.
I'm a big fan of the Unabomber, but I just can't vote for him.
Yeah, big fan of his work. So now we can run through our playoffs quick. First, Eastbound and Down versus the Americans. This will be, I think, an easier one just because none of you guys have seen it. But Doogs.
It's Eastbound and Down because I don't want to watch the Americans, to be honest. Like a lot of these shows spoke to me. The Americans didn't.
Just did nothing.
Exact same taste in like television.
At this point, I'm gonna vote for what show I liked better because I wanted to see it as a winner, and it's Eastbound and Down over the Americans.
Eastbound and Down.
The quick question on this because I never even thought to nominate it because to me it's not underappreciated anymore. Did Sonny have a say in this? You think?
I thought about it very heavily. Everyone loves It's Always Sunny. I know, like you could be like, oh, it didn't win Emmys, didn't win. Like I get that. Everyone knows. Like everyone you know.
What's so crazy about it though is that like I still love it. It's still my favorite television show of all time and currently. But like the newer seasons are definitively not as good, obviously. But the fandom seems to have come like right when there was kind of a decline in quality.
Like I'm trying to think what season that'd be. Maybe the one where Dennis left. Like
the that one. Like Mindy Kaling was a guest star and stuff.
Yeah.
That season was probably the first one that got a little more mainstream, and like They're not the good. They're great. They're funnier than anything else on TV right now, but they're not as funny as Early Sunny.
Yeah. I was just looking up just a clips the other day, like the long running gag of Rickety Cricket. It is constant change in the character is so fucking funny, dude. Oh, and another show where the outtakes might be as funny as like an entire other show's entire run. You know what I mean, so good. But yeah, I thought about it very heavily, including It's Always Sunny. I just think you can't. It's especially just for this group. For most people that are listening to this, they've all seen It's Always Sunny. No one's gonna think it's underappreciated.
Right. Agreed.
So I couldn't. But Fights.
So I will go Eastbound and I'll go The Americans because I haven't seen it.
The Americans.
I'm also going to go The Americans, and I think I'm going to watch it as soon as I get out of here. Like I want to watch it now. Spies, America, fuck yeah, love it.
Mm-hmm. You know one that just while talking the same convo, Dave recently recommended to me, Tehran.
Tehran first is very good either.
I'd never seen that. I'm like halfway through. It's really, really good.
Yeah. That's like the Mossad one, right?
Yeah, Apple TV.
Yeah. So I'd go with The Americans as well, just because I know a lot of people have seen Eastbound and Down. Like nobody really saw The Americans, and it ran for a while, and it's so good, and it's on a great network, and great actors.
What network is it on?
It was on FX, and now
What genre is it?
espionage thriller.
Yeah.
Like I would say. Trying to think like the best. If you like the good parts of Homeland, like it's all of the best shit from Homeland just keeps going on for like 7 seasons. Pat.
See, for me to like get into a thriller, it has to be like, and I love thrillers like extreme. Like I'm spoiled by the internet. Like I can watch someone like get shot in the face on the internet and like
true.
like that's
You guys are gonna be in prison.
Keep my attention. I just don't think anything. Eastbound and Down is so good that it's not appreciated enough, and more people need to see it. So I'm going Eastbound.
Eastbound.
You run the most of my friends. I feel like none of them have seen The Americans. They've all seen Eastbound Down. Like Eastbound Down to me is not underappreciated. Like a lot of people love that show. Ashley Schaefer. Like it's just very, very, very good. So
I think the Dingers thing too played a big part in that too, because I feel like that permeated through the no bunting rather, like all that shit kind of like permeated into like the real.
And honestly, that
No bunting.
like Will Ferrell outtake compilation on YouTube is like honestly, I think seeing that enough like that there's like 2 minutes of it, and I feel like that gravitated people to go watch it.
Yeah.
So you shout out YouTube, I guess, for the
Ask a question
there, but The Americans my pick.
Was Big Mouth? Is Big Mouth a show that any of you have watched?
Yeah.
Is that underappreciated?
I stopped watching
I
that
almost
after
put
like
it on.
I think like 2 seasons deep. I feel like I kind of like got it. You know what I mean? Like first season I was like, holy shit, this is really funny.
Yeah.
This is really smart. And then after that first season, I was like, all right, this is a bit much now.
That in The League I almost put in, but I think I'm just a huge
League is
Nick,
too popular.
The League was
I think
also
I'm a Nick
properly.
Kroll guy.
League is way too popular.
Really? I think I'm just so off of like what's popular and what's not. This has been like felt like therapy for TV. For
Rafi is like an all-time TV character.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because of
That launched his career. And you forget how many famous people were in that. Timothy Oliphant was in an episode of League. Do you remember that?
No.
He played a white sushi chef. It was so fucking funny.
I can picture him in the outfit now.
They're like, where are you from? And he's like, Omaha. And they're like, Omaha, Nebraska? And he's like, yeah. it's such a fucking funny episode. What's happened to, was it John LaJoy? He did like all his YouTube videos that were super viral, and he was in the League. He was he was the brother in the League. Taco, yeah, Taco.
Oh yeah,
He did like the "Show Me Your Genitals" video on YouTube. That was like ballistic viral for back then, and then he just disappeared.
Who was the dude that faked the 9/11 story?
That was 9/11 Kevin.
Ranzini?
Steve Ranzaninzi, yeah.
I told that story. I told that.
Why did he do that again?
We interviewed
What was
him
his name?
recently.
Steve what?
I just never brought it up.
I think I want to match the face to it.
He was Kevin. He's like the most normal looking guy in the league. I guess, and also the only one that didn't have like a takeoff other than John LaJoy. I guess.
There he is. What an insane.
Wait, you interviewed him and you
thing to
didn't
do.
mention the 9/11 thing? Well, I guess you can't.
He was like, "Yeah, man, I was there." Everyone's like, "What?"
It was like him and Ari did a tour. So him and Ari came on the show to promote it a little bit. And like there was never a time where it would have felt appropriate to bring it up. But like I probably, even if there was, I probably wouldn't have, because I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to talk to him.
What was his reasoning for doing it?
I don't know.
Just to get attention?
I
There
guess.
was like a lot of people that made shit up though.
Yeah. That was
That's the fucked up part.
There was a woman who was on a
one of
speaking
many.
tour about the whole like thing. She's like, "I was there. I was in the rubble," and she was like in Spain.
Really?
Yeah, there's a documentary on it.
By the way, speaking of Spain, another great liar talking about Alec Baldwin before. His wife just lying about everything. It's so fucking funny.
Hilaria,
yeah.
Let her
Yeah,
fucking adopt the culture.
I'm from Spain. I'm from Spain. It's not from Spain. Like all
The
this
fake accent.
Yeah.
She just likes the culture.
Yeah. 9/11 Kevin, man. I always forget about that. And he just fell face to your
9/11 Kevin.
Kevin is.
So we're gonna call you,
the
Doogs.
nickname. Jesus.
That you want that? You like that nickname? You want that?
No, get that off me. He's
said
more
he was
fucked
there.
up than me.
Doogs said he was there.
Doogs was there.
Doogs told me he was there actually before he went on.
Born from the Rebel.
That was another great Norm Macdonald joke too. I was there in the Blood and Bone. I was in Canada, or something like at the time. So the Americans can move on. Now we have Scrubs versus Justified. Start with you, Doogs.
Yeah, I honestly haven't seen either. No, I've seen Justified. Justified because of Walton Goggins.
Yes.
And I'm again, huge Walton Goggins fan. Started the show, never really finished it, but Walton Goggins was the reason that it got my vote to begin with. So I'm going with Walton Goggins and Justified.
Justified.
I think I'm gonna go Scrubs. I like, because the shock I felt when Scrubs got brought up. I was like, oh yeah, that's like one of my favorite shows ever, and I don't even think about. So if I'm not appreciating it, I'm sure everyone else isn't.
I'm just shocked it didn't get a late revival and interest like a lot of these other shows.
I think because it never did Netflix.
It's on Hulu. I think
It went to Hulu, and the Hulu just doesn't get the rewatchable.
Just pisses me off when like a White Collar gets like an insane revival, but like Scrubs doesn't. That pisses me off.
I got a question.
White collar guy.
I told you that Psych, like I think of Psych and Scrubs as the same thing. Like I hate Scrubs just so much as Psych.
Really?
Would you be like, that's not
So
right?
No, I get it.
Spencer and JD are very
Is
similar.
Scrubs like something that I should entertain watching? 'Cause that was just a blind hate.
They're both like zany, wacky comedy, which like I get.
It's very 2000.
Very millennial type of
Yeah.
humor. Yeah.
Like
Justified or Scrubs, which I watch.
Justified.
Justified for sure. Yeah.
Justified.
But 1-1 right now. Vibsy.
I haven't seen Justified. Scrubs is a top tier show. I recommend watching it. I don't know the way Feits just said, watch Justified over Scrubs. I'm going Justified.
Ooh. Went against yourself. 2 for Justified, 1 for
That's because
Scrubs.
I know Doogs' humor. Like Doogs will enjoy Justified.
Oh.
But like, what show is a better show? Scrubs.
Well, what about me? What should I watch? Should I?
You haven't seen Scrubs?
No, I have seen
Mummies.
Scrubs.
Oh,
I don't know. Mummies a lot. This is another opportunity for me to talk about Mummies a lot.
So we are 2-1 in favor of Justified. I would go. I think Scrubs got more play than Justified just because the network thing. But like, I think Scrubs is so funny and was very funny, like top tier for a long time. And also, again, it's the fact that it was like that good at humor and that good at drama at the same time, and just did not get enough credit for that. I don't think. So I go with Scrubs 2-2.
Scrubs.
Scrubs as well.
Justified. I think
Justified.
Scrubs is too popular.
Too popular?
I don't think anyone has seen Justified.
That's fair.
And I'm included in that, and I'm part of the problem. But man, I keep going back to the bullet thing. It's so good. It's enough to bring me in.
Coming faster.
2 sentences, and I'm in.
Fucking good line.
But no, it really just comes down to I think Scrubs is just too popular. I think Scrubs is appreciated in that sense, and people just wouldn't even be able to tell you who stars in Justified.
All right, Steve, you're gonna have to break the tie again.
I love Scrubs, but I can agree with Hubs
All right.
that it might be a little bit too popular.
Okay, that means Justified's gonna move on in Justified versus the Americans to go into the finals. Hubs.
Jesus.
Great FX shows.
Justified Americans, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Americans. It's still Americans is more popular of the two, but man, I think. And by the way, I fucked up. Dave loves Homeland, not the Americans. I said that earlier.
Homeland first few seasons were unbelievable.
Right. So I don't really like. I want to see the Americans. Everything about it, but I've passed on it for no reason, and I've known it's been out there, but I'm not appreciating it. So I feel like by the definition of what we're doing here, have to pick the Americans. I wonder if people are going to come at us and say it's too popular.
I really don't think it was.
I hope not.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so then Americans my pick.
Solid reasoning, Pat.
Same thing.
Same thing. I would also go with the Americans, and as I think the one person here that's seen it, it is just unbelievably good, and more people should watch it.
I think I'm doing with Ray Donovan and Justified what I did, or Americans and Outlander are they like the same show? Are they like
Outlander?
similar? What is it called?
Homeland?
Homeland,
yeah.
whatever.
Oh,
All
Outlander.
these shows from like 2014, they're just the same fucking show. They all blend together for me. I don't even know what we're going.
prefer Justified?
I'm gonna go Americans.
Okay, Americans go
Is what is it? Homeland? What is it? Outlander?
Homeland is the one show. Outlander's the Scotland
You're
one.
thinking of Homelander from The Voice.
Also, this
Yeah,
Homeland.
and I'm mixing that up with what's the fucking show that you just told me?
Homeland.
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 Which should I watch? Homeland or Americans? Which is better?
Americans is better than Homeland.
It's the same show, and it's just like Ray Donovan and Justified. That's the same show to me.
Between the two, Americans is definitely better than Homeland.
Okay, I'll watch Americans.
Yeah. Fights.
I was going to go Justified on this one. I know I've been going Americans because I haven't seen it. I have seen Justified. I do think it's too underappreciated. I will go Justified.
Justified.
At this point, I just have a vendetta against the Americans, so I'm going Justified.
Either way, Americans can move on. On the other side,
Oh, I thought you said that was the final.
go into the finals.
Oh man, I was so caught off guard. I'm like, I swear there's a few others.
You missed. Yeah, there's some left. Malcolm in the Middle versus Banshee.
Oh, now this one's gonna break my heart because Banshee's the one that I'm starting after this episode.
Yeah. It's tough, man.
It's tough.
Well, I feel like it's easy in the scope of...
I do think just because I always thought Malcolm in the Middle was properly rated growing up, always threw it on, always enjoyed it. The way that you guys are talking about it, I had a way different experience. I really liked it. I think it is underappreciated for my time. I'm going Malcolm in the Middle.
One from Malcolm in the Middle. Fights.
I guess by the rule I've been using, it should be Banshee because I haven't seen it. And I'm not passionate enough about Malcolm in the Middle to go against that rule, so I will go Banshee.
One for Banshee.
I'm gonna go Malcolm in the Middle.
One from...
Kind of similar with 30 Rock. I feel like the humor is should be more appreciated.
Yes, and I've rewatched Malcolm in the Middle recently, and I think that's going to make me vote for Malcolm in the Middle because it is like no one has really heard. They're only getting into Banshee because of Anthony Starr. Malcolm in the Middle was watched and I think appreciated by us as kids, and I think as an adult when you rewatch it, which I just did recently, there's so many other layers of humor to it that you appreciate way more, and I feel like you didn't really pick up on it as a kid. So I'll go with that. Pat?
Yeah, same thing. Malcolm in the Middle. You can watch it again and laugh at a completely new set of jokes if you haven't watched it since you were a kid.
Yep.
Oh, mood point, right? Because
Yeah.
they move on. Okay, but I'm still going Banshee. There's a scene in the first episode at the bar where a lot of people die, and if enough people knew about the show, they'd be able to like, oh, I know exactly. They don't know what that scene is. They've been missing out on that scene and how it catapults everything. It's so fun.
That actor that plays the bartender.
Can't wait for you to watch it. I may watch it tonight just to like get back into it, and I don't know.
If you like Justified, it's a no-brainer. You should watch Banshee, by the way.
Yeah.
It is a no-brainer. You should watch it. And I believe it's on Max, right?
I don't know where it newly.
Might be on Netflix
It was
now.
hopping around for a little bit.
Yeah, it was definitely on...
Max feels right, though.
It was on Max. It might be on Netflix now. I'm not sure. Yeah. Now we have 30 Rock versus Boardwalk Empire. Hubs. This is
This is the final?
Semis.
No, this is right now we're in the... Yeah.
Just quarters to get... No.
Right now
Quarters
we're...
to get to semis.
Yeah.
30 Rock is, I mean, the cast, all that. I don't think enough people have seen I don't want to just pick Boardwalk Empire though because it wasn't on network TV. That feels like I'm doing 30 Rock. I'm dirty, so I'm gonna stick with 30 Rock. So yeah, I the cast, Alec Baldwin, Tracy Morgan. You can jump at any point. You'll love it, and maybe it did get less shine because it was part of that, action packed.
Yeah.
Thursday night. If it was kind of more of a standalone, maybe it would get more appreciated. So I'm going to appreciate it right now.
30 Rock?
30 Rock.
30 Rock. I would do 30. I love both of these shows. I would do 30 Rock.
30 Rock.
30 Rock.
30.
30.
Yeah, it would be Boardwalk Empire any other day, but the way you guys talked about 30 Rock, 30 Rock.
Yeah. So 30 Rock versus Malcolm in the Middle to go into the finals against the Americans. Doogs.
Same logic. I'm going Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, I'm going Malcolm in the Middle. I think that the way I viewed it compared to you guys with I think that it is very, very underappreciated as good of a show it is.
Mm-hmm. Fights.
30 Rock.
One for 30 Rock. 1-1 right now.
30 Rock.
30 Rock. I would go between these two. Like Malcolm in the Middle is a good show. 30 Rock is a better show, and I still don't think it was appreciated for how good it is.
Agree. 30 Rock.
30 Rock. 30 Rock. Okay.
Damn, I cannot believe how underappreciated 30 Rock. It won so many awards. I was like, I gotta watch this for how much it cleaned up.
Are we gonna get shit on for that for having 30 Rock advance? Like,
don't think so.
is that appreciated enough? And we're just
I don't.
this?
Again, is the whole basis of this is like, is it appreciated for how good it was? I don't think so.
Okay.
I think if you talk to someone who knows TV or watches
Knows
TV,
ball.
however you want to phrase it, they'll say it's great. If you talk to any other regular person, they'll say they haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's insane.
If you say like, what's the funniest sitcom from the last 20 years? Like they'd be like, oh, The Office, Parks and Rec. They might even say Community ahead of it. Like there's going to be a lot of options they're going to say before.
Community had the big, like 30 Rock
Revival.
never got the...
I think
Despite the fact that it even was on Netflix. 30 Rock never really had that big...
Never got the renaissance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it didn't have a cult following. You know what I mean? It just had people that generally liked it. I don't think it never got that second wave.
Yeah.
It has
people
the best cast
didn't
ever, in
appreciate
my
it because of the cast. I think a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to watch that. It's just this crazy cast lineup.
Yeah.
opinion. It was an insane lineup. It was an insanely good show.
That could be a turnoff to some people.
I thought that I think I just found out today that it's not known as the best sitcom.
It's just
I thought it was the best sitcom ever.
It's like Feits was saying. It's a
It's like
true beaters know it. You know what I mean? Like but regular Joe, you go walk up to someone in the street. Like, how many episodes of 30 Rock? You like no one. You say The Office? Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Parks and Rec? Yes.
it was 30 Rock and The Office were like clear cut.
Oh no. Because The Office was like better than higher ratings and all that shit while it was airing, and also had the revival.
Also, The Office needs to get off TV. Every time I'm on TV scrolling around, I see 4 different channels with The Office.
I might start a 30 Rock revival.
You'd be the ground.
A
zero.
lot of things you're starting.
Yeah. Your schedule's filled up for the rest.
Start building bombs in the woods.
Saying a lot here.
Fucking
Yeah,
Kevin.
9/11 Kevin's gonna be the ground zero of the revival of 30 Rock.
I'm such a fan of his now.
Yeah, you love those big skyscrapers in New York City, like 30 Rock was, right, in Rockefeller Center. Yeah. So 30 Rock up against the Americans in the finals. Starting with you, Doogs.
I hate the Americans now.
Why do you hate?
I'm never watching the Americans. Not gonna
There
happen.
were such good shows brought up, and the Americans was the one that just did not talk to me.
It's so fucking good.
And 30 Rock, you guys helped its case. Like, I cannot believe how people don't view it as the best sitcom of all time. So 30 Rock.
30 Rock. 30 Rock.
30 Rock.
This is fucked up.
Unanimous, baby.
Again, it's all about where the relativity of it. Like, way more people saw 30 Rock than saw the Americans, and I think that but it's just from the scale for how good 30 Rock was as a sitcom, as a comedy, top tier. No one gives a shit about it, really. You know what I mean? And that sucks. Pat,
30 Rock, of course.
30 Rock.
I think if you presented both shows to someone who had watched neither, they would pick 30. And they watched like 10 episodes, they'd be like, why the fuck is no one watching 30 Rock?
Yeah.
It's just 30 Rock.
It's so funny. So the winner of the bracket 145 is 30 Rock. Thank you for joining. We'll be back next week with the normal crew. Shout out 30 Rock. Go watch 30 Rock. I think it's on Hulu. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Go check that out. Check it out as if I'm giving it some big.
He's
bump
on
from-
Peacock too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's on Peacock too.
It is a parody of SNL. I mean, it would make sense if it's on NBC. Okay. So yeah, go check that out. We'll see you guys back next week.